is very relevant. Public relations in the age of misinformation. Yesterday also the department organized one-day workshop on PR writing skills. For the welcome address, I would like to invite Dr. Ashok Kumar, Head of Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. Before his address, I would like to introduce our speakers. Today our keynote speaker is Shri Satish Namboodiripad, who is Additional Director General, Central Bureau of Communication, New Delhi. Shri Rajendra Chaudhary, Additional Director General, Public Information Bureau. Mrs. Urvashi Rangara, Deputy Director, Public Relations. Shri Sunit Mukherjee, Director, Public Relations, Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak. Dr. Amit Sangwan, Director, Public Relations, CDLU Sirsa. Dr. Suresh Gaur, CEO, PR for you. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And this welcome will be incomplete without welcoming our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Tankeshwar Kumar. Sir, now I would like to invite Dr. Ashok Kumar, sir, for the welcome address.
So, thank you, Dr. Bharati, and it is a great pleasure for the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication that today we are organizing one-day national seminar on the National PR Day. So, because today is National PR Day, so I want to congratulate all faculty members and all guests who are present on this platform with the department. So, I think it is a great day for us today that today we are organizing the whole day. We are going to organize the panel discussion, and we are going to listen the number of speakers on this platform of this department. So it is a very great thing for the department that today our keynote speaker Sri Satish Namboodiripad, Additional Director General in Central Bureau of Communication, is with us also. So on the behalf of the department, I welcome you here, sir. And he was the head of Electronic Media Monitoring Center and New Media Wing, two of the futuristic media organization under the Ministry of I&B, Government of India. And he has also the ADG, Admin and Training, Indian Institute of Mass Communication, one of the pioneer institute of journalism in the country. He has more than 30 years experience of the PR industry, and he has also served as a Deputy Secretary for the former President of India, Dr. K.R. Narayan. He is also an alumni of IMC, New Delhi, and thank you, sir, you accepted our invitation on short notice. So from the core of our heart, we welcome you here, sir. Another speaker is Sri Rajendra Chaudhary, Additional Director General, PIB, Chandigarh. He is also a great PR professional and has more than 30 years of experience of working in this profession. And because I think he has not joined us, he will join very shortly. And in this panel we have also Mrs. Urvashi Rangara, Deputy Director Public Relations, Government of Haryana. We have also invited Dr. Sunit Mukherjee, Director Public Relations, MD University in Rohtak, and he has more than 20 years experience of public relations. We have also invited Professor Amit Sangwan. He is also Director Public Relations in Chaudhary Devilaj University, Sirsa, and he is also heading the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in CDLU Sirsa. So today, because today is National PR Day, Public Relation Day, so we want to make a deliberation in the department to invite the PR professional. So it is a great day for the department and for the university also, because very eminent speaker with us today. So you know that, so on the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, again I welcome you, welcome our all guests, and now I invite Dr. Bharati for further proceeding.
Thank you, sir. For a welcome address, again, I would like to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. First of all, I welcome you, sir. On behalf of Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, this is your department and we are working under your guidance and support only. आप इस विश्वविद्यालय के लिए कुलपति और हम सब के लिए कुलगुरु के रूप में हमारा हमेशा मार्गदर्शन करते रहते हैं. On this special day, I take a little opportunity to introduce you with a brief profile. Prior to joining this university, you were working as Vice Chancellor in Guru Jambeshwar University of Science and Technology, Hisar. He has also served as UGC Professor of Physics and Director of Abdul Kalam's Computer Center at Punjab University, Chandigarh. He has been Vice Chancellor as additional charge of Deen Bandhu Choturam University of Science and Technology, Murthal, and Chaudhry Bansilal University, Bhiwani. Professor Tankeshwar Sir has 35 years of experience, which includes teaching, research, and educational administration. He has contributed more than 165 research papers in journals of international and national repute, with more than 1900 international citations. His H index is 23 and I-10 index is 44. His research area is theoretical and computational condensed matter physics and nanotechnology. I welcome you, sir, and Ashok, sir, please invite, sir.
Welcome, sir. I think sir is in traveling, and you can understand. So what type of able administrator our vice chancellor sir have, and because he's very hearted, and he's a very good teacher, and he's very regularly motivating us to organize such type of program so that the student can learn. So on the behalf of the department, I welcome you here, sir, and we want your blessing on this occasion on the National PR Day. So we want to start this program with the blessing of our worthy Vice Chancellor, Professor Tankeshwar Kumar.
Thank you very much. I hope I am audible.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So, very good morning to everyone. Congratulations for this National PR Day. So, this National Public Relation Day you are celebrating in this university. I'm thankful to the department and organizer. I would also like to thank our keynote speaker, Shri Satish Namudharipatji, Additional Director General, Central Bureau of Communication, New Delhi, and Shri Rajendra Chaudhary ji, Additional Director, Press Information Bureau, Shri Smith Mukherjee, Director, Public Relations, MDU Rohtak, Dr. Suresh Gaur, CEO PR for you, Srimati Urvashi Rangra, Deputy Director, Public Relations, Government of Haryana, Dr. Amit Sangwan, Director, Public Relations, CDLU, Sirsa, for joining this event. It is my pleasure to speak to you today about the importance of role of public relations in the age of misinformation, because it spread of the false information, which we generally call as the fake news. Because of this, because the media has become, I will say, reachable to everyone, and is people are able to publish. Everyone is able to publish, and this situation was not there earlier, because you are able to read only, you are able to get the information, you are not able to disseminate the information. Now that thing has gone, and now you have to really see that which information is true, which is not true. And this is not only the case of, I will say, the fake news. I also see the fake documents. That is also a serious problem, which you will see, which we are seeing it. We have to examine various documents as an administrator, and we see the even the documents attached documents attached also are fake, right? So that is a serious problem, in the sense we also must have seen in the media that the similar, that sometime we get the notification issued, which is by the government, right? Which is by the government, which is to be issued by the government, but it is same pattern, same everything is being issued by the fake people, right? So such kind of things are happening, because we are able to, reproduce, regenerate the documents, and that is not only just, this is happening in the media, not only just in the offices. I will say that has even reached to the sometime to the court even, sometime even to the court, that people attach the documents which are not there, and they are heard, and they are heard unless until the other party object to it, right? So that is the kind of the things, the kind of the information we are having in these days. And this is because we are really using everyone is able to use the technology, everyone is able to you say I will say bi-directional communication, everyone is able to create which is being otherwise not possible, unless until you have the security kind of things which are available even for the currency. That's why we are now transforming ourselves to the digital currency. So that is various things, which are happening in this and this era, and it is all because of, I will say, the technology, and obviously people are more clever than we think about. So we are really happy to know. I am really happy that you are organizing uh, such an event where you are talking about the fake news or misinformation, and on the day of National PR Day. So I hope that the speakers or the keynote speakers and guests which you have invited will be provide the, I will say, information or the knowledge or the wisdom to our young students and the faculty, so they are benefited out of it. This for such kind of I will say the program which you are organizing today, especially the Department of Journalism chairperson or HOD, right, and his colleagues also. So I congratulate them and thank all the speakers and my keynote speakers today, and really thank all of you for organizing this event. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Perspectives are talked about that how people are creating fake documents, fake email, and this is very difficult nowadays. And you know that a public relation people, they are very important component of public communication. So they are playing very important and constructive role. That's why, sir,
Yeah.
we have organized this workshop. We have organized this panel discussion for our student, so they can understand, so what is the role of public relation and how they can curb and how they can stop misinformation, so that we can save the public. Yeah, however, it is very difficult due to the advancement of the technology, because everybody is creator, everybody is creating content. So it is very difficult, to handle the PR nowadays. So I think our the eminent speaker today's panel, they will discuss and they will deliberate on this topic, and our student will get benefited from this discussion. Thank you so much, sir. You spare time for us, and have a safe travel, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank,
you. Thank you.
thank you so much, sir. Now, starting our today's seminar, I would like to invite our keynote speaker, Shri Satish Nambudiripadji. Before he starts his deliberation, I would like to present a brief about him. He is currently working as Additional Director General in Central Bureau of Communication, the media organization that undertakes promotion campaigns and paid publicity about government policies and programs under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Earlier, he has served as head of Electronic Media Monitoring Center and
Madhavi,
New Media Wing.
huh?
He has
Illo pediti.
he has also
Sir?
worked as ADC Administration and Training in Indian Institute of Mass Communication, the prestigious journalism school cum training academy for the Indian Information Service officers. During his 30-year-long career, he has worked on various positions such as Private Secretary to Union Minister for Food and Public Distribution and Consumer Affairs, Director Secondary Education and Registrar of Copyrights India in the Union Ministry of HRD during 2006 to 9. Deputy Press Secretary to the President of India, late Dr. K.R. Narayanan during 1998 to 2002. As the first Chief Executive Officer of NORCA Department, Non-Resident Keralites Affairs, in his home state of Kerala during 2002 to 2005, he is credited with setting up of NORCA Roots, the implementing agency of the department, and devising and executing various welfare schemes and projects for the non-resident Keralites. I welcome you, sir, in this department, and we are very keen to listen from you. Sir, no, sir.
No, sir.
Please
Am
unmute.
I
Sir.
audible now?
Yes, sir. Now
Yes,
it's
sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much to the Central University of Haryana for this very warm welcome. And warm invite for this event. I know that this invite is less to me, but more to the institution that I represent. Central Bureau of Communication under the Ministry of Information Broadcasting, which is one of the very, very important media arm of the Government of India, or media organization under the Ministry of Information Broadcasting. Thank you very much for that, and thank you, the Vice Chancellor, sir. I don't know, I think he seems to be having some other engagement, and probably I think he's traveling soon. Thank you very much for his kind words, and thanks once again to the department for this warm invite. I have a couple of my friends, my colleague, Mr. Rajendra Chaudhary, sitting in the, I think, as part of the panelists. My friend, Mr. Suresh Gaur, is also there, and a large number of budding professionals in the field of communication, journalism, and public relations. The time given to me is around 20 minutes. That's what it says. So the topic is so vast, and one could keep on talking about it, and I'll try to limit my discussion only to a couple of points which I feel are very important for the event, for the day. Today happens to be the national PR day. First of all, a small flagging or a small a small discussion about the word PR. PR somehow, positively and negatively, I think it has been much maligned word. While in the positive sense, it is extremely important for any institution or any setup or a team of individuals, or even for a human being to have public relations. We cannot deny the fact that it has also been taken slightly in a negative sense for the quote unquote the PR aspect of a person. He's good in PR kind of a thing. I think it is high time we have a relook into the whole thing, less as public or personal relationship, but more as public information. Because the professionals who are dealing with PR on behalf of the institution are less on facilitation, which somehow happens to be a byproduct of the PR as a word, but more on the public communication or public information as a vocation. The topic of the day, the PR in the context of fake news and increasing volume of the information scenario or information firmament of the day, also carry significance or make some significance only when we look at PR as less as personal or public relations. The problem is with the word relations, but more with public information. Having said that, I'm not here to denounce or belittle the importance of public relations or personal relations in the growth, in the sustenance, and in the operational running of an institution, or even a setup. celebrated PR gurus like Mr. Suresh God, etc., are out there. I'm sure that they will talk more about that aspect. I'm here to limit only about the aspects connected with the fake news or information overdoing, and what the public information professional will have to do in that area or in that situation. Let's understand that information is in economic terms, it's a public good. It's that's the best way to understand the dynamics of information is through looking at it in the economic terms. That is public good. I'm sure that you are aware what it is. What does it mean? A public good is a good that is both non-excludable and non-rivalrous. That's the definition. For such goods, users cannot be barred from accessing or using them for failing to pay for them. Also, use by one person neither prevents access of other people nor does it reduce availability to others. Basically, these are broad. The term public good is used for infrastructure, for facilities, railways, or even access to public roads or even public parks, etc., etc. But when we look at it through the economic terminology, that is public good, we understand. I mean, we understand that, in other words, information or airing of information or indulging in information is common to every one of us. 130 crore people in India, or 6 to 700 crore people, or 7 billion people. Everybody can talk. Everybody can opinionate. Everybody can give information. Everybody can receive information. And the beauty or the ugliness of it is that it's not constant. It is not only one. Or it's not only once. It keeps on changing. So you can imagine the kind of vibrancy or the dynamism it makes in the public space called quote unquote communication. In the field of communication, firmament, it is always boiling a cauldron. And for a public relations or public information personnel, be it on behalf of the government of India, or on behalf of a particular institution, or even a private or personal firm, to distinguish between the chaff and to respond to that. That is precisely the responsibility or the functional difficulty of a public information. We do it as in information service officers. We do it on behalf of the government, and large number of PR personnels, they do it for firms, public, private, individual, whatever things. But let's understand that communication has become a basic or crucial determinant for the success or the effectiveness of all other activities that a firm or an institution is doing. The basic purposes of the government, people say, is legislation, taxation, and regulation. By regulation, facilitation also. This is outside, apart from the basic requirement of protecting the life and property of the subject or the individuals. External aggression, internal, Home Ministry, Defense Ministry related issues, the safety and security of the people, that which is the primary objective of the government. After that, legislation, regulation, and taxation. But every activity of the government nowadays is determined, or the success, effectiveness of it is determined by the fact of, or by by the process called communication. How do you communicate? It is true of every firm, be it Hindustan Lever or Reliance Communication or any other firm, whether good and bad or successful or less successful firms. The public information people or PR people, as you call it, who represent that institution, it is their people also say that there are two kinds of important jobs. The most important is to do, and next is to talk about it. So from that perspective, the job of the PR person or public relations man is the most crucial after that of the people who do it. Communication is central system or any system, any democratic or even private individuals. It enables trust in that. It's our job, public information guys, to communicate in the programs, policies, service, or facilities given by that, be it government or anything, whomsoever you are representing. Also, the right and responsibilities, both of the producer and as well as the consumer. The producer has certain rights, producer has certain responsibilities. Same is true about the consumers also. Consumer or those things. And that trust or that mutual relationship can be built only through a constant interaction. Constant interaction, which is achieved through communication. That's a most important role personally, to inform, to engage, and also to educate or persuade or educate. Why are they doing it? There is some reasoning. In the case of government, it is all the more important because every person, every man on the street, every man and woman and child and the boy and the girl have a proprietary right on the government. It is less so in the case of, for example, university, Central University of Haryana. The stakeholders in that, the number may be limited. So I, as an outsider, may not be connected with it, concerned with the day-to-day activities, unless and until there is a major policy matter which emanates from that, which positively or negatively impacts. But you have your own stakeholders. You have to inform them. For example, the students, the teachers, the people around them, etc., the parents, large number of people. That's the only difference. Everyone, every action of the government is open to question, open to interpretation, open to appreciation, open to criticism. So government people will have to constantly do that. This is true of all other institutions also, yours or any other private individuals also. The mutual communication or the PR person or the PR professional also works, the communication works as a tool to help deliver the policy and whatever activities it is taking. So engagement, the first is information, the second is the engagement. You need the Central University of Hyderabad, what you call, your institution takes a decision, and in order to get the stakeholders, the students, teachers, etc., into it, you need to constantly engage them. Really deliver its decisions. It is not possible without effective communication. And also, and the free, in the case of democratic institutions, less in the case of private, but people who are doing it, they like to do that also. The communication domain that we have been witnessing, why this the whole question is about the fake news, etc., the role of the PR personnel or the public information as a function in the communication domain. That is our most important issue. On the traditional media side, there is a continued vibrant growth of the print media and a multitude of TV channels. We have got something to tune of I'm sure that as journalism students, there is an institution called RNI which gives titles. We've got something known as one. It means since independence, as many newspapers or publications are effectively running or working in this country. The number is very huge. And out of the nearly 35 to 40,000 publications give annual returns every day. They give their annual reports every day, which means that as many are regularly functioning. So that is on the print media side. I'm told that India is the only country even now. That situation may slowly change over a period of time in the next 10, 15 years time. I'm sure that a large number of students like you and the young professionals who use less of the print medium, the hard copy, but more on their devices, on the digital or what they call virtual media. And at the same time, there are something to 916 TV channels which are operational in this country, of which nearly 300 odd are news channels, and they're all in various languages. For paucity of time, I'm not giving you the numbers, presentations, etc. We can do that. We have those statistics. That's on the traditional convention center. On the sociological front, role of the civil society, citizen consciousness, activism, the urbanization, the young population. In a country like India, currently the people who are below the age of 25 is something known as 53%. Below the age of 35, it is something known as 63%. Their aspirations, their requirements, the word coined recently by rurbanization, rural to urban migration, and the requirement of the children, jobs, everybody, and on the technological plane. So on the conventional, on the sociological, and the technological plane, I don't have to talk anything about it. You all know it. Emergence and fast-paced growth of online and social media. Everybody is a medium. Everybody is a message. Everybody is a messenger. Everybody is a receiver of the information. Everybody gives out information, and information travels like anything. There's never been a more exciting time to be a communication professional, says Alexander Aiken, the UK government's communication expert. Internet as a medium of the communication. That's extremely important. William Wordsworth, in his famous poem, said that bliss wasn't the dawn to be alive, but to be young was to be very heaven. Bliss was in the dawn to be alive, but to be young was very heaven. It is true of a communication scenario like nothing else. To be young like you, and we are all in the wrong side of 50 and less comfortable with or trying to adjust ourselves to the technological revolution, and we are not going into the information, the difference between the content and the carriage. That's a whole topic, whether content is important or the carriage is important. Carriage is the technology. That is another day-long discussion that we can do. I think I'm soon reaching the end of my time allotted, because that's why this is such an important and such a what do you call exciting topic to discuss. So there has never been a more exciting time to be a communication person. Social media as all-in-one information and communication ecosystem, entirely technology-driven, platform-agnostic, interactive, allowing anybody to publish and broadcast. Everyone. People say that there are four incidents of the genie coming out of the bottle. The de-Brahmanization of information preservation. For years on end, for hundreds of years, the information or knowledge has been the preserve of a chosen few. That has been true in all the civilizations, all the countries, everywhere. It can be clergy one side, or the rich people somewhere else, or the feudal lords. And it is called a de-Brahmanization. I'm not looking at Brahmins as the limited sense of caste in India. No, not that. The due feudalization of information. Now everybody is powerful. Four things have enabled that. First is in the early days of the printing press, initially the lead book, then printing press. That was so many years back. But even then, people managed to control it for quite some time. But in the last 30, 40 years, starting from 1960s, computer, internet, mobile phone, and mobile telephony totally changed the situation. These are the four distinct, all in the 1960s onwards. The first computer, Stanford University, to the American defense system, which has come as a huge thing. I had the good fortune to see the computer that day. The entire computer, that first computer, will sit into, will stay in a full room, fit into a room which is some 10 feet into 12 feet. That was the initial computer. From that, it came as a defense thing. Then slowly the progress. The computer, the internet, mobile phones, and the marrying of mobile phone with the technology. Everybody is powerful. That is precisely whatever the Vice Chancellor was very, very fleetingly referencing as everybody talking. That, coupled with the fact that I mentioned as a public good, this is the connectivity that I wanted to say. The ability, that is the carriage, which is a phone which is in my hand, the content that is there, latent, inherent in every person. 120 crore people, they all have opinion, they all have they all have their knowledge, they all have firm beliefs, and if each one of them decide to tell it, to convey it, to express it, to declare it, you think of the what is going to happen. If everybody in a village, if they decide to go out, what will be the scenario? There is a festival in a temple, in a village. In spite of the best efforts of the organizers, only X percentage of the people attend, that temple, that function, India decides to travel and go to the airport or the railway station, what will be the case? That is precisely the kind of, analogy that I want to give. Content, it is coming out. Platforms link networks of people, which now allow information to go viral, spread exponentially fast in seconds and minutes. And the beauty or the ugliness of this, that all this information perish in 2 minutes time also. News breaks and fades away 24 into 7 into 365. Yet often it is not news that breaks. It's not news. It's simply opinion. Communicators, there are no middlemen. The role of the newspaper to decide as to what you should see next day, that's coming to an end. Everybody is a newspaper editor. There is no more. At one point of time, you would have seen as a celebrated editor. Paper one time said that he is holding the second most important job in this country. This has been off-counted. Now, will somebody say that? Every one of us is doing a most important job as far as information dissemination. Take a small clip, send it, somebody sees it, and we feel nice. Okay, going live, and how many likes, dislikes, or whatever. On-demand availability and access of content, and their perishability. It's called the VUCA world. Volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. It's called VUCA world of communication. From the volatility to vision, uncertainty to understanding, complexity to clarity, ambiguity to agility. If you can make that negative VUCA to a positive VUCA, that is the role of the communication professional. That's the role of the PR personnel. And this is possible only by going digital. Going digital is the only way forward. Increased digitization process and digital transformation of entire processes, both governance as well as the governance. I didn't mean the democratic government or the government of the day alone. The governance, the managements of every institutions. Strengthening the delivery mechanism of whichever institution, integrating public outreach and communication apparatus. Public outreach and communication apparatus, again, of the individual institutions. Through technological interventions, increase manpower, and very agile response mechanism. Data analytics is another very important issue. See, the problem, please understand that the problem with the social media has become one of the newsmakers in the print media also. I hope you understand what I'm saying. We'll have a column or two news items about the Twitter following of Rahul Gandhi, or whatever social media is talking about X, Y, or Prime Minister X, Y, Z, etc. So one set of media, or so the so-called digital social media, is becoming an important player in the traditional media also. Every TV news will have a session on what the social media is saying, what all are trending, how people are reacting to it. The most issue is that the trending information and its consequences have to be understood and acted upon on the spot. That is the only prescription that I have to make as far as this public relations people in the fake news is concerned. You cannot sit idle saying that this is a fake news. For example, I'm sorry for being personal in this. In the building of the Central University of Hyderabad, Mahendragarh, wherever you are, there somebody says that vice chancellors or the main building collapsed. 150 people died. The vice chancellor and the PR person cannot say that no, nothing has happened and it is there. This is absolute stupidity. This building is. He cannot, by saying that nothing has happened, he cannot sit idle. If somebody, one of you, does this kind of a machination, say that something has happened, it is a job of the PR people or the public information person to immediately react to that. Because if in the 20 years back, if it is a newspaper day, it would not have made any difference. Next day, that news item would not have come. The newspaper man will decide that, okay, it was absolute nonsense. The building is intact. Nothing has happened to anybody. Everybody. Here, this is the fake news and the correct news. And just because it is a fake news, the person who is dealing with public information, the so-called public relations, cannot sit idle. He has to. This is the underbelly of information professionals. You are wasting a lot of your time on dealing with stupid, nonsensical, or wrong information. That it is wrong, it is a wastage of your time. But if you don't do it, half the world will believe. All the people who are in Canada, America, or Gulf countries, etc., there may be people who are from that area, their relatives, friends, there are frantic calls, people have started reacting, and they will accuse the vice chancellor or the university of not responding to that. That's a role of the PR professional or the public information professional. Know how mass communication works. The transformation of the public operations, public mindset, and rise in citizens' in expectation. How the business of communication has changed dramatically. And trending information and its consequences have to be understood and acted upon immediately. A set of people who will have to work with and not against the media. You have to develop a strong relationship with journalists, bloggers, content writers, etc. You have to be very strong on your data. You have to provide invaluable access to the information. I'm not talking of a misinformation kind of a thing. I'm not building collapse or something. In general terms, how do you work as an effective communication professional in this normal circumstances? Data going digital. I think I've taken I've been given. Let me just stop with a famous statement. George Bernard Shaw very famously said that, having stated that the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that we all feel that the communication has taken place, but it may not have. I I come out with a very often. I mean, very often I come out with a statement: communication is not what I say. Communication is what you receive. 20 minutes or 30 minutes of my speech, I can stop the computer system saying that, "Why I made a brilliant speech, what a great job I did," etc. But each one of you that he made a crap of a talk. He was not making any sense. He was not focused, and he was the information dissemination was not the way I thought. The communication has failed. As communication professional, let us understand that communication is not what you say. Communication is what you understand, what the receiver gets. It is true of the family also. Very, very well. Let us all, your father and mother, whatever they say, what is the communication process? How many times what you take the way they tell you? Say something, your mother says something, father says something, as young people, how do you react to that? It is true of any institutions also. Larger the institution, larger the clientele, complexities become bigger. So communication, please understand, is not what the communication professionals say, but what the clientele receive. So as PR person, as communication guys or professional, you always think of the other man. Gore Vidal, very famous American, intellectual, public intellectual, stated that at any given time, public opinion public opinion is a chaos of superstition, misinformation, and prejudice. Don't think everybody has all connected to the first point that I made of information. One point of time, people had content, but they did not have carriage. Now the carriage, with everybody having in the form of a small 10,000, 15,000 rupees worth of the phone, it's a cauldron. It's a cauldron, and we'll have to live with it. That's all in on this day of Civil Services, National Civil Services Day, as well as PR Day. I wish every students of journalism a bright career ahead, and I thank the university for having given me a chance to interact with you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening words. You almost covered too much and in a very concise way. All the aspects of PR, from ARPANET to Web 2.0, one to many interactive and then many to many communication. Also, in a very concise statements and quotations, you decoded about communication and PR too. We are very thankful to you, sir, for this enlightening knowledge and sharing your experience with us. Thank you so much, sir.
So it is
Thank you. Thank you very much. I may listen to one or two more participants, and I'm keen to, attend. And later on, I may be allowed to
yes, sir. Yes.
move out because of, we are in office and we have some other engagements also. But I'll be here for some more time.
So it is a
That's great.
brainstorming session for us, sir. Very nice.
Okay. Oh, is there an interactive session? Am I supposed to take any questions or something? I
Yes,
don't know.
sir. Yes. Any question, student?
Sorry, what did I hear something?
Any question? If you have any question.
Okay. Of course, I can take one or two. Whatever is possible. But there are other speakers also. I don't want to eat into their time. I can see large number of people.
Thank
there
you,
are
sir.
others also.
We will have a question answer session, I guess, in the end of all the.
Okay, that'll be fine. If I am there, I can rejoin. That'll be fine. Otherwise,
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
sir, for sparing
Thank
your
you.
time for us. Now, I would like to invite our next speaker, Shri Rajendra Chaudhary ji, who is working as Additional Director General, Public Information Bureau, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Chandigarh since January 2022. He is assigned to work media management for Government of India for the states of Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh and UTs of Chandigarh, Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh. He has also handled the Jago Grahak Jago multimedia publicity campaign from August 2007 to 2011 during deputation as Deputy Secretary in the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, New Delhi. During these 4 years, the campaign became one of the most visible social awareness campaigns. Also initiated the multimedia publicity campaign for Competition Commission of India, reactivated the multimedia publicity campaign for Ministry of Food Processing Industries, looked after the publicity work of Ministry of Commerce and Industry, has also looked after the publicity of Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Ministry of Textiles, Ministry of Tourism and Competition Commission of India. Along with this, you have also experience of various media units, DD News, RNU, DDK Bhopal, DPD, PIB and DPD again as a director. It's a really wonderful brief to read, sir. We are very keen to listen from you, and as you said, you would be liking to focus more on the PIB fact check aspect of information dissemination in this misinformation age of PR and this digital world. So without wasting any moment, I invite you, sir. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My special thanks to the entire team of Central University of Haryana, Mahendragarh, for organizing this event. I think this is something which is really relevant today, which is something which is taking a lot of, I would say, concerns of the government also, because as Satish sir just pointed out, I think listening to what he was saying, the basics are very clear as to what is the challenges in the age of very fast growth of communication, very fast travel of communication. And when we talk about fast growth or fast travel of communication, the challenges and of ensuring that there is no misinformation, that becomes very huge. And that is what we in the government are concerned, and that is what I will try to focus on. I'll start with what Satish sir said. He said that these are exciting times. I would add to that that these are more than exciting, these are challenging times. Means it really becomes difficult for a government person to make sure that in the plethora of information, millions of tweets and Insta reels and whatnot, how do you make sure that whatever information is being conveyed to the public is genuine, authentic, is based on facts? So I think it's a huge challenge which government has to meet, and we, in the guidance of Satish Namudripal sir, are looking forward to creating more such mechanisms by which we can ensure that in the age of public relations, misinformation is countered in quick time. Because misinformation, even if we are able to counter it after some time, the kind of impact it would have already left by the time we are able to give some kind of a rejoinder or some kind of, I would say, fact check, I think that damage may have already been done. And we are seeing this on a day-to-day basis, that how some negative news, some fake news, that creates a kind of a which shades the atmosphere. It can lead to a lot of rumor mongering. It can lead to tensions in the society, and that is what I will be talking about, the fact check unit of Press Information Bureau, because Satish sir has already covered the basics of the topic. I'm sure once he has spoken, there is not much to speak in terms of basics, because he's such a good communicator. And I must compliment Satish sir that I really got that point very well, and I'm sure all of our students will get it. That communication is not just about telling your point of view. Communicating is actually ensuring that whatever we said has been received in the same spirit or not. And there then I realized that the kind of importance now we are giving to the feedback mechanism from fields, particularly from regions, that becomes very, very important. Because once we communicate in the form of a press release from government at the central level, I think gathering the feedback from the field units becomes very much more important, and that is what the essence of communication is all about. When I will talk about the PIB fact check unit, let me just first give some very basic facts about it. It is a not a very old kind of creation. It was created in November 2019, and the objective is very clear. It should act as a deterrent to creators and disseminators of fake news, and basically all of us should have an easy avenue. For example, if I get some kind of a fact, I need to check some kind of a news, then I should be able to report suspicious and questionable information. And the good part I would add here is, and I can share in the group later on, that we have created a WhatsApp hotline, we have created an email ID, we have created a website portal, and there is a Twitter ID specifically for the PIB fact check. WhatsApp, I'll just say right now, 87997. Anyway, I think it will not be easy for you to remember. I'll message it later on. So the simple part is that we in the government and you people as communicators, because ultimately you are the future communicators. So talking to any group of journalists is always, I will say, one of the very key elements of working of government also. In fact, yesterday also I was having a discussion in Punjab University to the communication students. I really liked the way they are responding, the way communication is spreading. And in the same light, PIB fact check unit needs to be really uh, talked about more, needs to be utilized in a bigger way. And I'm sure many of you would have seen the recent news wherein it has been made mandatory on part of all social media platforms that in case something has been reported by PIB fact check unit, then that particular news will be immediately taken off, or that particular mismongering, or you can say rumor or whatever fake news will be taken off by the social media platform. So that's a very important, I would say, step in ensuring that only the genuine information goes to that. Now, let me also clarify that PIB fact check unit is not about everything floating in the news. It is not really possible for us, but it caters to the queries related to the government of India. I'll just give you a small example. For example, I'll just give you a few days back, we found it a letter saying that मुद्रा लोन अप्रूव हो गया है, आपको 1700 रुपये प्रोसेसिंग फीस देनी है, उसके बाद आपको 10 लाख का लोन मिल जाएगा. Something like that. Somebody will say that we have got a letter saying that you will get a loan of 1 lakh rupees. Now you have to make the payment of 1750 as a loan agreement charges, and the letter will appear to be coming from some PM unit or something like that. So this is the area where PIB fact check unit becomes very, very important. What we normally do in such cases is that as soon as we get a query, we get in touch, like we research it through authoritative government sources like websites, press releases, government social media accounts. Then we get in check with the concerned ministry, because every ministry has an attached PIB officer. We gather the relevant information. So basic fact check unit actually works on the very normal fact. Fact, you will, I'll expand it like this. F for find, A for assess, C for create, T for target. Find, assess, create, and target. That is the essence of PIB fact check unit, that you immediately report whatever has been misinformed or whatever is wrongly interpreted and communicate it through all possible channels. And I will be happy to inform you that now PIB fact check unit is not just only on Twitter, it is on across various platforms. We are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Coup, we are on Instagram, and we are on Telegram. So government also responds very fast. Government, within its own constraints of having to go through a process, does try to make sure that whatever fact we feel are not based on facts, are not based on a genuine kind of a reporting, we immediately check it and then report it back. And as I said, the recent particular uh, change in the guideline, asking the social media platforms to make sure that whatever we have certified as to be a fake news, that should be immediately taken off all the platforms. I'm sure that that will really help. But is this sufficient in the age of public relations to be just having one PIB fact check unit? I think not really. As I said, our role is mandated to be limited to government. But as communicators, you people will be the PR communicators in your various government departments, in various private sector units, in various corporate units. I'm sure that every organization will face a similar kind of a thing. And particularly in the corporate world, this can be very, very damaging. In fact, some people say that the recent collapse of the bank in America, SBU, if I'm remembering it correctly, was actually a communication failure, because they communicated not to the right target. They needed to go out to their stakeholders, they needed to go out to their particular, I would say, bondholders, to tell them what is happening, that their bonds are in negative, but they need not worry because ultimately it is a long term asset. But somehow they went to the wrong platform. They went to, I would say, the stock market investors, they went to the, and immediately triggered a kind of a collapse. So in fact, this is what the biggest lesson in the recent times is, that a bank itself collapsed, which would have led to, like I would say, demise of dreams of so many lakhs of startup ventures, because that bank was actually catering to so many startup ventures. So think of this, that in the age of public relations, how misinformation can be such a damaging thing. A whole bank with billions and billions of dollars of bond assets went down within 4 days just because the communication possibly was not rightly addressed. It was sent to the wrong target. It was not properly thought of. And in stock market parlances, in financial markets, rumors can hit a company in a very big way. Same is the case with any government scheme also. Something goes wrong in terms of any kind of fact, the kind of tensions it can spread in the society, the kind of ramifications it can have, that is huge. And that is why role of we as the government communicators become extremely challenging to make sure that not only we are able to go through the plethora of millions and millions of information floating around us, but we have to check it and check it in a very quick time, and then we have to counter it, and after countering it we have to make sure that it reaches to the right kind of a target audience. It's a huge task. I'm sure that not only the government, you people as communicators will become active stakeholders with the government to make sure that this kind of I would say misinformation is properly stopped. I really also like the words from Satish sir, deep Brahminical kind of a thing. That is also, I would say, every situation has some positives, some negatives. So maybe in our traditional setup in India, information was limited to a few. But in that sense, countering that wrong information was also easier because you knew the target. Today, the target is endless. Each one of us is an editor. Each one of us is a social media influencer. I may not be a very big person in terms of my standing in the society, but I may have large number of followers. One WhatsApp message from me and it goes out to thousands and thousands of persons. So that kind of challenges really are huge, as I said. What else we can do? I would say that let us fill the space with positive space. This could be one possible solution to this kind of a PR exercise, PR kind of, I would say, challenge. World is out there to fill the media space with negativity. It is easier to sell negative news. It is easier to sell a news of an accident, but it is difficult to tell people that some very positive thing happened. So, as peer communicators, whether in government, whether in universities, whether in corporate sector or anywhere else, I think one of our primary targets to be on a practical side could be to make sure that we dish out information in a exciting way. Government schemes can have so many positive ramifications. It can have so many good examples of beneficiaries being greatly benefited. Somebody in a small corner of a country making a startup venture involving 1,000 villagers and then taking their lives to a next level. Unfortunately, what we do is, because taking up those positive stories need lot of efforts, they need hard work, they need research at the ground level, and most of us as PR communicators take the easier route of just issuing a press release and then assuming that it has been communicated, whereas actually just issuing a press release is not communication. Making sure that the press release is rightly received is the real communication, and that is the real lesson that I have also learned from my senior sir, Dr. Satish. So this is what I think. My take from today's seminar would be that let us fill the space with positive news. So, for example, if you are running a university, there could be a lot of good soft stories from various students, from their families. As a good PR person, let us not give space to rumor mongers. Let us fill it with things that are appealing to us, that give us a good kind of a positive vibe. And I'm sure that as we do this in a more creative way, we will find takers for our positive news. And simultaneously, as a deterrent, let us strengthen our PIB fact check unit. PIB fact check unit is just one example. Every institution can have a similar kind of mechanism wherein it can possibly create a platform where people can report anything that they would have found to be false, misleading, or to be a rumor, and then that particular institution can take suitable steps. I think having a kind of a WhatsApp number for this, having a kind of helpline number for this, having a kind of a particular link available for this for somebody to report, that will really be facilitating to everyone, just as we have done in PIB fact check unit. So I was allotted 10 minutes. I think I have already overshot myself. I limited myself to my PIB fact check unit because the bulk of messaging has already come from Dr. Satish. It was a great listening to him. With these words, I once again thank the organizers, the university, Dr. Suresh Gaur, Dr. Amit Sagwan, Sunil Mukherjee ji, and I'm eager to listen to the next speakers that will be coming in. So with these words, I end my address here, and once again, my heartiest thanks to all of you, and special thanks to Satish sir for such enlightening words.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really enlightening, and I would like to add something personal to it. I'm also following PIB Fact Check from very long time, and it was really good for me personally also to listen directly from you. How do you manage this PIB Fact Check? And this is a very good suggestion by you that every organization can have a personal fact check unit to verify their information, so that in this information overload world, in this digital era, this units will help a lot to the audiences. Now, without wasting any further moments, I would like to invite our next speaker, who is Dr. Sunit Mukherjee. Currently, he is working as Director Public Relations in Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak. He is an academician, PR professional, journalist, and personally to me, I like his creative writing. He writes a lot, and on Facebook page we can read his stories every day. On every contemporary issues, he writes in his own way. And he has a very famous writing about that Murak ji. So I like that very much personally. So I am very keen to listen you, and we all are very keen to listen you, sir. Please, sir.
Okay, good morning to all of you, and thank you, Bharti, for such nice words. Heartiest greetings to one and all, esteemed peers of public profession on National Public Relation Day, and heartiest greetings to the young students who would be PR persons, spokesperson, effective communicators of tomorrow. Well, if it is a cricket match, then Honorable Satish Namodiripad sir has blazed a trail like K. Shrikant. He started the batting with such wonderful strokes, and then Rajendra Chaudhary ji has played his strokes like Gundappa Vishwanath. So I am coming at second down, so I have to steer or defend the ball like the wall Rahul Dravid. But today I must congratulate Central University of Haryana, Mahendragarh, for taking a topic which is so contemporary, public relations in the age of misinformation. And I'm reminded of the great author Mark Twain, who said, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. पर प्रिय विद्यार्थियों, अब तो ये सोशल मीडिया का जमाना है, तो जब तक सच जूता पहने तब तक वायरल झूठ दुनिया के कई चक्कर लगा लेता है. Now, in this scenario, how a PR person fits in, how you should, as a student, look for a career in PR. So, one thing I must say that in this age of information overload, as rightly pointed out by Bharti Batra, a PR person cannot be a 9 to 5 job now. It is 24 into 7 into 365 days, constant job. And if you want to be in PR, you need to have passion for PR. I always say that प्याज प्यार और पीआर आंखों में आंसू ला देता है, लेकिन आंखों में आंसू तो लाता है, लेकिन ये जो आग का दरिया है जैसे प्यार है, लेकिन पीआर ये भी बहुत चुनौतीपूर्ण है. इसकी जो चुनौती है वो आपको मजा भी देती है. But you have to be a persuasive communicator. You have to have, as Rajendra Chaudhary rightly said, it's not the job that you send a press release and it's all right. No, you have to follow it up with the media persons, with all the persons, the stakeholders. You have to follow it up. So for first thing first, that you have to be agile, alert, always on your toes, looking out for all the areas, the gray areas in particular. मेरा तो ये मानना है कि आज जनसंपर्क, विशेष रूप से जो सरकारी क्षेत्र का जनसंपर्क है, वो संकटकालीन संचार ही होकर रह गया है. It is very important that otherwise, if you see PR, it is communication management, it is relationship management, relationship with media relations, it is crisis communication management, and it is risk management as well. It has developed, and you need to have a strategic vision, strategic mind to point out how to go about it. I will give you two, three examples. Well, I've shared it with, I think, in the last class I had with the young students of the Central University of Haryana, Mahendragarh. In 2016, there was some agitation in Haryana. It was a massive agitation. There was arson on 19th Feb 2016. And lo and behold, at 9 p.m., I got a call from my vice chancellor that, Suneet, there is something trending on NDTV. And what it was trending, that the उपद्रवियों ने गर्ल्स हॉस्टल को घेर लिया है और 1000-1500 की भीड़ गर्ल्स हॉस्टल के अंदर चली गई है और लड़कियों को वहां आर्मी आई है और रेस्क्यू कर रही है. The same thing was carried on a portal of Dainik Jagran. It was already 9:30 when we had a crisis communication meeting, and we went on with all that facts and everything, sending photos to the concerned NDTV as well as Dainik Jagran and all. But now what happens in this age of viral overload? This message was spread in the neighboring villages. And right in the morning at 5:30, a lot of people, say a mob or a group of crowd of 150 people led by some women agitators, they came and said, we want to see if the girls are safe or not. But I had anticipated, and I had already talked with the vice chancellor, sir, get up early in the morning. I feel that people may come in tractors and all because it has spread like wildfire. So we were ready. So we persuaded the group that let the ladies come and see for themselves whether the girls are safe or not. We took pictures of the girls. We took gate and other things. We led these ladies to the girls. They had a talk. Now, later on, it's a long story. It was that the story was stopped on the Jagran portal as well as NDTV. The scroll was taken off. But you see that what damage can it done? Later on, while checking the images which was available on the portal by reverse image search and other kind of tools, that fact-checking tools, we found out that the picture of a girl being rescued from a window of a hostel is of Karachi National College, Pakistan. There was a fire in Karachi National College and the girls were rescued safely. The face of the army person, because Indian Pakistanis have almost the same kind of stock, the North Indian part, they had the same thing. This is one part. You see, 9:30, we went on this operation. It went on till 12 in the morning. We got up and we stopped that exercise, which was damaging to the reputation of the university and which could have led to a conflagration of highest order. So this is the kind of a PR has to be alert. Second, in recent few days back, I got a call at around 9, same time, 8:30 or quarter to 9, from a journalist that आपके यहाँ कुत्तों को torture करके मारा गया है. He sent a video. I was shocked. What's this? There were certain traps, and this area was the area which is behind our girls' hostel. It is a isolated land with a lot of plants and all that kind of thing. So I thought, what can it be? And he said that ये तो आपके कुछ forensic department वालों ने मारा है, something of that sort. So at night, I had to contact the lady teachers, the head of the department, the concerned people, that research, whether that is medical ethic board was considered or not or something of. Later on, it was found that a research project was going on in the forensic department led by one of our teacher, a very good researcher, and it was in the area of forensic entomology. And when I saw that video closely, you could not distinguish what it was. It was shot from a long shot angle. But next morning, it could have become a big trouble that PETA people, prevention of cruelty against animal people and other, could have come. And at 10:30, finally, the journalist was convinced and that news was killed or stopped. So this kind of agile attitude you need to have. You need to be alert. One night, while I was having a sleepless kind of thing, I switched on the Facebook and I found at 12 in the night, midnight, 12 night, one student leader was going live, speaking against certain areas, entrance examination and all, this during this last admission session, around, it was in August or in September. So before it could viral in the newspaper, I thought that he's going live on 12 p.m. This means hardly one or two papers which are published from Rohtak may carry, or it will be carried day after tomorrow. So I got alert. At 7, I told the vice chancellor there is a problem and we need to act upon it. So the damage it could have given to our reputation about the entrance examination, and we had a proactive approach, and this way we could minimize the damage. What I want to say, I'm not boasting about what we had done. No. I'm just telling you about the kind of challenges which have become so profound that one has to fight it out every time, agile, alert, constant attention how we can. Second, which is very important, I always say the word is public relation, but basically effective public relation is effective personal touch. It's personal communication. Whosoever is the director of public relation, whosoever is the public relation officer, whosoever is the PR spokesperson, if he she has good contacts, good relations with the media person, with other stakeholders, it will help. And one more thing, a wonderful journalist, Pushottam Pancholi is a personal friend based in Kota. He has worked with Haribhumi, Nabha Times, and many newspapers in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana. This morning he wrote on my Facebook, because I had sent greetings, he said कि जनसंपर्क कर्मियों को आज ये विचार करना पड़ेगा कि वो जनसंपर्क किसके लिए कर रहे हैं. Here it is very important that, of course, there is a prime minister, there is a chief minister, there is a district collector, and there is a vice chancellor at various levels. But are we doing PR for that particular person? Or are we doing PR for the organization? Organization is important. Very important. One has to keep in mind. Yes, of course, who is the boss? We have to take care of his, her interest, no doubt. But a good organization has some good organizational practices, organizational efficiency, organizational growth, the growth story. It has to be highlighted in a manner so that that organization becomes a brand. That is very important. Yes, of course, it depends upon the boss too. One more thing, the boss too must have trust in his PR professional, in his PR personnel. If there is a trust gap, then effective organizational communication will be a casualty. The PR person must have the eyes and ears, must have the ears of the person who is heading the organization. This is very important. And now, what about the part of what should students look for? Look, dear students, you need to be a good communicator, written as well as verbal. It is essential. Second, you need to master the digital platforms tools also. In this day, you cannot do away with the digital tools. You have to master it. You have to be a multitasker, as rightly said by Rajendra Chaudhary ji. Third, you need to have that kind of passion. बगैर जोश जुनून जज्बा के जनसंपर्क नहीं होता जी. ये बिल्कुल एक निहायती सरकारी नौकरी की तरह जो पुराने ढर्रे से चली आ रही है, उस तरह से नहीं चल सकती. तीसरी बात, जैसे पहले कहावत थी, लुक बिफोर यू लीप. सो एज ए पीआर पर्सन, एज ए कम्युनिकेटर, you have to contemplate before you speak, think twice before you write something, because in this era of digital era, ICT era, digital footprints can never be erased. What you said, what you wrote will go a long way. And apart from it, it's not simple just to be contributing to the organization, or contributing if you are a PR person for a person, celebrity. We also have to think of our society. हम समाज को क्या दे रहे हैं? What we are doing for our nation building. As a PR personnel, are we contributing to community development? Are we contributing to the social cause? Are we contributing to the growth story of the nation? This is also important. And apart from it, we are social animal. ह्यूमन बींग्स आर सोशल एनिमल. तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा, वो किसी और संदर्भ में कवि धूमिल ने कहा था, लेकिन उनकी कविता की लाइन को दूसरी तरह से प्रस्तुत करूंगा. हर व्यक्ति को संवेदी संचारक होना होगा. इस समाज को, इस राष्ट्र को बेहतर होना होगा. और हर वो विद्यार्थी जो पत्रकारिता और जनसंचार से है, उसे अपने विभाग का, अपने विश्वविद्यालय का, और जो आगे अपने संगठन का ब्रांड एम्बेसडर होना होगा. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Ashok ji, and all team members who have invited me. And I feel I'm a part of the university because I had drafted the syllabus when it was introduced way back in 2014. So, best wishes to Team CUH JMC for its future growth. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. आपने बड़े जो पीआर वाली लिसनिंग लग रही थी मुझे, और बड़ा अच्छा लगा सुनने में. उदाहरण से चीज़ों को बड़ा अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया आपने, और बड़ा सही कहा कि ट्रस्ट इज़ द की इन कम्युनिकेशन. और आज के समय में हम सभी को खुद से भी ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेनी होगी टू वेरीफाई द इंफॉर्मेशन, टू बी अवेयर। कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन जब हमें मिल रही है, रिसीव करने के साथ साथ उसे डिकोड कर कर हम उसे रिसीव करें. थैंक यू सो मच सर. नाउ आई एम
Here, here I would like to add just one comment here, one small antidote in a sense. क्योंकि जर्नलिज्म के स्टूडेंट्स बैठे हैं तो टारगेट ऑडियंस हमेशा एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है. जैसे अपने स्टार्टिंग उसमें सुमित जी ने बहुत शानदार एग्जांपल दिया कि स्टार्टिंग के श्रीकांत से हुई, फिर गुंडप्पा विश्वनाथ जी ने बैटिंग की, और नेचुरली नेक्स्ट वो दिलीप वेंगसरकर मान सकते हैं हम उनको कि वो दिलीप वेंगसरकर की तरह बैटिंग करके गए. लेकिन अगर वो टारगेट ऑडियंस मेरी है और सतीश सर की है, या हम लोग जो इस तरफ बैठे हैं, then these are very right kind of examples. But if I were to take target audience as the student sitting there, then I will have a different example. I would say Saurav Ganguly started with masterly strokes. Rahul Dravid followed it up, and now it was a turn maybe of Yuvraj Singh or a person coming at number 4. तो दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टूडेंट वुड पॉसिबली रिलेट विद देम, क्योंकि शायद ये गुंडप्पा विश्वनाथ के बारे में जानते ही नहीं होंगे. So that also is a essence of communication, and carrying forward what Sumit Mukherjee was saying, I think his antidotes were very good. That is the essence of communication कि आप ऐसे ऐसे एग्जाम्पल लाइए कि जो एकदम याद हो जाए. खासतौर से जिन्होंने कहा कि जोश जुनून जज्बा, लेकिन उसके साथ एक चीज नेगेटिव आ गई कि वो पुरानी सरकारी नौकरी की तरह नहीं होना चाहिए. Now, me and Siddhesh sir will immediately disagree कि आज की तारीख में सरकारी नौकरी में जितना जोश जुनून और जज्बा चाहिए, मुझे लगता है even the best of the corporate worlds will not have it. This is some miscommunication from our side that we have not been able to correct that perception. So this again is a misinformation about government which we need to correct, because once we correct the information and say government is having Josh Junoon and Jazba, I think people's confidence also improves, people's trust in the government also improves. So that is also one of the messages coming from this very interesting use of antidote. और जो एक आपने एंटीडोट यूज किया था, प्याज, पीआर और प्यार, तीनों में आंसू आते हैं. अब अगर कोई सेंसेशनल टीवी चैनल वाला होगा तो ये आपके प्यार वाले वर्ड को दूसरी तरह से इंटरप्रेट कर जाएगा. क्या सुमित जी को प्यार में कभी धोखा हुआ, हेडलाइन ये बन जाएगी. So this is how we have to avoid the pitfalls of communication, that each and every word we speak as communicator, you do not know कि सामने वाला उसमें से कौन सा पोर्शन उठा के कैसे इंटरप्रेट करेगा. So I think again thanks Sumit ji, Sunit ji, I was really listening to it. It was great. Some of the words I'll be using in my future lectures because these are good ways of teaching, good ways of communicating. I like it. Thanks once again.
राजेंद्र जी, जहां तक इंटरप्रिटेशन की बात है, जाकी रही भावना जैसी, प्रभु मूर्ति देखी तिन तैसी. तो जिसको जो देखना है, जिसको जैसा व्याख्यात करना है करेगा. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर पॉइंटिंग आउट certain you can say incongruities. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सर. एज अ स्टूडेंट जब हम भी क्लास होती थी पीआर की, तो वी यूज्ड टू कॉल पीआर एज प्यार वाली क्लास. सो नाउ इट इज आल्सो फीलिंग लाइक अ प्यार वाला सेमिनार इन द पीआर सेमिनार. Now I am honored to invite our next speaker, Mrs. Urvashi Rangara. She is working as Deputy Director in Information, Public Relations, Language and Culture Department of Haryana. In this profession, she is been from last 29 years. She is Masters in Mass Communication in Hindi, also in Hindi from Kurukshetra University, and presently she is looking advertisement, print media and magazine sections. And a very great thing is she has also worked with 4 chief ministers in Sirsa, also has worked in Sirsa, Ambala, Panchkula as DIPRO, and posted at head office on various positions from last 20 years. Thank you, ma'am. We are very delighted to have you among us. We would
Thank
like
you,
to
ma'am.
listen you, ma'am, how you manage such a इतना responsible department है, हर दिन advertisement दिन में इतनी सारी हैं. How do you manage all these, ma'am?
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, inviting me. It's a very prestigious day on this. Normally क्या करते हैं कि हम लोग बाकी डेज बड़े सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, आज ये डे है, आज वो डे है. तो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है मेरे इतने सालों की सर्विस में कि आज मुझे पीआर डे के तौर पे एज ए पीआर प्रोफेशनल, नॉट एज ए डेप्यूटी डायरेक्टर, एज ए पीआर प्रोफेशनल आई एम ज्वाइनिंग विद यू. एंड इससे बेटर ज़्यादा मुझे ये लग रहा है कि हम सभी जो पीआर प्रोफेशन से जुड़े हैं ऑन डिफरेंट स्टेजेस एंड डिफरेंट फील्ड, वो आज एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे हम सब हैं और अपने अपने जो एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, अपनी अपनी जो हमारे जो नॉलेज है, हमारा ज्ञान है, हम जो आने वाले पीआर प्रोफेशंस हैं उनके साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं. तो ये दोनों ही तरीके से एक तरीके से बेनिफिशियल है. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो मैं आप सबको बधाई देती हूँ PR डे के लिए, और मुझे इनवाइट किया उसके लिए दोबारा से धन्यवाद। मैं इस पे 2-3 इश्यूज पे आपसे मैं अपनी जो शेयर करना चाहूँगी। पहला तो ये है कि जो PR पर्सन है, चाहे वो पब्लिक सेक्टर में है, चाहे वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर में है, दोनों ही जगह में PR पर्सन के लिए जो बहुत ही चैलेंजेस रहती हैं। मैं इसको एज ए पब्लिक और प्राइवेट सेक्टर से नहीं डिफाइन करना चाहूँगी, बिकॉज़ इसमें क्या है, PR पर्सन ही रहता है, ठीक है? जैसे आप एक हम देखते हैं डॉक्टर है, उसके अंदर पैशन है डॉक्टर का कि मुझे डॉक्टर करनी है, तो वो स्टार्टिंग से MBBS कर रहा है, नीट की तैयारी कर रहा है, कुछ इंजीनियर कर रहा है, इंजीनियरिंग के लिए कर रहा है। तो ये भी एक पैशन से जुड़ा हुआ फील्ड है हमारा। जब तक आप एक अच्छे आप अपना कम्युनिकेटर नहीं बनते, आप अपनी बात किसी से कह नहीं सकते, या किसी से आप कोई उस चीज को आप अरेंज नहीं कर सकते उस चीज को, या कुछ, तब तक आपको लगता है कि आप एक आर्टिफिशियल उसमें कर रहे हो, एक जस्ट जॉब कर रहे हो जस्ट, और उसमें इंक्लूड आपका पैशन इंक्लूड नहीं है उसमें। लेकिन पैशन जब आपका इस प्रोफेशन में आ जाता है तो इसका एक अलग ही निखार आता है, एक अलग ही इसमें आपको एक चमक नजर आती है कि मैंने ये काम किया। मेरा जैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है पब्लिक सेक्टर का ही रहा है, मैंने कभी प्राइवेट में नहीं किया। तो पब्लिक सेक्टर में क्या है कि आपके बहुत चैलेंजेस इस तरीके से रहती हैं कि आप डिफरेंट टाइप के पॉलिटिशियंस हैं, चीफ मिनिस्टर्स हैं, IAS ब्यूरोक्रेट्स हैं, और मीडिया पर्सन तो होते ही हैं, खैर वो तो पार्ट ऑफ द पार्सल ऑफ द PR जो लाइन है हमारी उसमें रहता ही है। तो उसमें आपको काफी लोगों से इंटरेक्शंस रहता है, हर सरकार की, हर चीफ मिनिस्टर की, हर मिनिस्टर्स की, हर ब्यूरोक्रेट्स की एक अपनी सोच होती है, अपनी पॉलिसीज होती हैं, अपना उनका एक अलग मोटिव होता है कि मैंने पब्लिक में ये चीज अपने आप को एस्टेब्लिश करना है, मैंने पब्लिक में गुडविल रखनी है, ऐसा है। तो उस चीज को हम एक एज ए ब्रिज हम उसको कम्युनिकेट कैसे करते हैं एज ए PR पर्सन, वो हमारी पैशन पे, हमारी कम्युनिकेशन पे, हमारे अपने कैलिबर कह लो, या हर चीज जो एक उसमें पर्सन में होनी चाहिए वो उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल जितनी प्रीवियस गवर्नमेंट रही है, प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट है, सबका एक अपना मैंडेट होता है, सबकी अपनी अचीवमेंट्स है, सबकी अपना एक अपना है कि मैंने पब्लिक में अपने आप को ऐसे एस्टेब्लिश करना है, मैंने अपनी स्कीम्स ऐसे करनी है। तो आज के टाइम में हमारे पास बहुत सारे टूल्स हैं। पहले पुराने जब व्हेन आई हैड जॉइंड दिस डिपार्टमेंट, ओनली प्रिंट मीडिया एक हमारा रहता था, उसमें भी सिर्फ एक अखबार होता था, न्यूज़पेपर होते थे। आज के दिन में हमारे पास मतलब बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म है। इवन इन हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट वी आर यूजिंग वेरियस प्लेटफॉर्म थ्रू एडवर्टीजमेंट, प्रेस नोट तो है ही है हमारा, थ्रू इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चैनल्स, टीवी, डिजिटल, एंड बहुत सारी और चीजें हैं कि प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेज होती हैं, कुछ है। तो उस चीज से क्या है कि हम अपनी बात हर चारों पांचों तरीके से हम अपनी बात को, सरकार की जो बात है, कम्युनिकेट कर सकते हैं आम पब्लिक तक। और इसी चैनल्स के माध्यम से लोगों की फीडबैक भी हमारे पास आती है। किसी चीज से वो सरकार से खुश हैं, किसी चीज को वो पॉलिसीज को वो रिएक्ट करते हैं कि नहीं ये अच्छी है, बुरी है, मतलब बेनिफिशियल है लोगों के लिए। तो उसमें टू वे कम्युनिकेशन वाला एक फॉर्मूला स्टार्ट हो गया। पहले हम करते थे कि हमने न्यूज कर दी, अपनी बात कह दी, हमें लोगों की बात नहीं पता चलती थी। आज ऐसे टूल्स डेवलप हो चुके हैं थ्रू सोशल मीडिया, डिजिटल मीडिया, कि लोग उस पर रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं, ठीक है। तो उस चीज में क्या होता है कि आपको टू वे कम्युनिकेशन हो जाता है। उसमें ऐसे में चैलेंजेस एज ए PR ऑफिशियल आपकी और बढ़ जाती हैं। आप ये सोचते हो कि अब इन्होंने इस चीज को हाईलाइट किया है कि वो दे आर हैप्पी एंड दे आर नॉट हैप्पी, उसमें उनकी क्या वो अपनी इनपुट्स भी देने लग जाते हैं आम पब्लिक की, नहीं नहीं ये चीज होनी चाहिए, नहीं नहीं CM साहब को ये करना चाहिए, या डिपार्टमेंट को ये करना चाहिए उसको। ऐसे में हमें उस चीज को मैनेज करना है, उस चीज को, मतलब हालांकि हम वी आर नॉट स्कीम डेवलपर्स या हम कुछ कर रहे हैं, जस्ट एक हम उनको बता सकते हैं कि सर ये फीडबैक आई है, करना नहीं करना ये हायर अथॉरिटीज का या गवर्नमेंट लेवल पे जो इश्यूज होते हैं। लेकिन एज ए PR पर्सन हम उस चीज को मतलब अपना इनपुट दे सकते हैं कि ये चीज आई है, ठीक है। सेकेंडली क्या होता है, ये जो मुझे जो लगता है कि मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, जैसे डॉक्टर सुमित मुखर्जी जी ने भी इस बात को हाईलाइट किया था, आपका जो लैंग्वेज है, आपकी टारगेट ऑडियंस है, राजेंद्र चौधरी जी ने भी यही बात कही थी, टारगेट ऑडियंस हमारे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आप एक पढ़े लिखे सेक्शन को बात कर रहे हो, आप एक विलेजर से, रूरल सेक्टर से बात कर रहे हो, आप एक ब्यूरोक्रेट से कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हो, इट डिपेंड्स कि आप अपना जो मैसेज है किन लोगों तक पहुंचाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो हमें अपनी लैंग्वेज, भाषा का चयन, शब्दों का चयन, हमें वो कंफर्टेबल बनाना है, ना कि हम उसमें अपनी लैंग्वेज को एफिशिएंसी दिखाने की कोशिश करें कि नहीं मुझे ये लैंग्वेज बड़ी अच्छी आती है, मुझे संस्कृत बड़ी अच्छी आती है जी, मुझे उर्दू बड़ी अच्छी आती है, मैं इंग्लिश में माहिर। नो, हमें ये देखना है कि सामने वाला जो टारगेट ऑडियंस है वो आपकी बात को कैसे रिसीव कर रहा है, किस भाषा में, किस चीज में आपको वो कंफर्टेबल फील कर रहा है। तो दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। हम नॉर्मली क्या है कि हमारी जो स्कीम्स होती हैं, कुछ इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट के लिए हैं, कुछ ट्रेडर्स के लिए हैं, कुछ रूरल्स के लिए, फार्मर्स के लिए, तो हमें अपनी लैंग्वेज वैसे ही करना है। अब क्योंकि हरियाणा में पंजाबी जो लैंग्वेज सेकंड लैंग्वेज मतलब नोटिफाइड हो चुकी है, तो हम उसको अपनी पंजाबी लैंग्वेज में भी अब उसको धीरे धीरे अब कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं, कुछ एडवर्टीजमेंट के माध्यम से, कुछ प्रेस रिलीजेस के माध्यम से। तो वो चीजें हमारे लिए बड़ी एड ऑन, आगे आगे एड ऑन चीजें हो रही हैं। तो ये एक चीज मतलब जो मैं अपना पॉइंट रखना चाह रही थी कि इसमें ये इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप उसमें लैंग्वेज, आप भाषा उसमें क्या यूज करना चाह रहे हो। जहां तक इमेज बिल्डिंग की बात है, जो गवर्नमेंट के हैं, कोई भी चाहे प्राइवेट सेक्टर में या पब्लिक सेक्टर में, अगर वो पीआर एजेंसी या पीआर ऑफिशियल हायर करते हैं, तो सबसे पहले उनका ये होता है कि उनके प्रति डेडिकेटेड, मतलब जो एज ए पीआर, चाहे फॉर एग्जांपल मैं पब्लिक सेक्टर की बात करती हूँ, मैं एक जनरल बात ना करके पब्लिक सेक्टर की बात करती हूँ। गवर्नमेंट्स आती हैं जाती हैं, लेकिन हमारा जो काम है, गवर्नमेंट जो भी प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट होती है उसके लिए हमें अपना जो पीआर का जो है स्किल, उस स्कीम्स को, उनकी जो आइडियोलॉजी है, उनकी जो मतलब जो लोगों के प्रति जो काम करने की जो ललक है, या उनकी जो अपनी एक भावना है कि मैंने अपनी बात को ऐसे करना है, तो हम उस चीज को अपने टूल्स के माध्यम से, अपने एक्सपीरियंस के माध्यम से आम जनता तक कैसे पहुंचा सकते हैं, ये चीज बहुत मायने रखती है। जहां तक ये अभी कुछ पॉइंट्स एक दो हाईलाइट हुए थे कि गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में ये नहीं होता, वो नहीं होता, ऐसा नहीं है सुनील जी। आजकल गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में भी बहुत चैलेंजेस हो गया है, और पीआर जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर्स में भी ठीक है कि आप किसी डेडिकेटली आप काम कर रहे हैं किसी के लिए, बट लास्ट 28-29 ईयर से जो मैं देख रही हूँ, तो उसमें जो गवर्नमेंट के साथ काम करना, इट्स टू मतलब बहुत ही मतलब एक सेंसिटिविटी वाला काम होता है, और बहुत ही एक मतलब जिम्मेवारी वाला काम होता है। आपको कुछ भी, आप जो भी आप काम कर रहे हो, बिकॉज आई एम वर्किंग इन स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एंड विद ऑन द हेड ऑफिस में ही मैंने अपना जो ज्यादा टाइम निकाला है। तो डायरेक्टली आप जो बात करते हैं, चाहे थ्रू एडवर्टीजमेंट्स कर रहे हैं, चाहे थ्रू आप प्रेस रिलीजेस कर रहे हैं, उसमें आप ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द सीएम बात कर रहे हैं, आप उनको चीफ मिनिस्टर की जो स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं, चीफ मिनिस्टर की आप बात कर रहे हैं। और कुछ मायनों में, कुछ चीजों में तो हम प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स को भी हम अपनी एडवर्टीजमेंट्स में हम डालते हैं। तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर और चीफ मिनिस्टर, ये जो दो इंपॉर्टेंट जो पोस्ट है, इनके बिहार पे आप कुछ प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, तो आई थिंक वो बहुत सेंसिटिव है, बहुत ही मतलब एक सोच समझ के काम करने वाली चीज होती है कि आप उनके बिहार पे कुछ राइट अप कर रहे हो, आप उनके बिहार पे कोई स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हो, आप उनके बिहार पे कोई मैसेजेस दे रहे हो। फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोई डेज आता है, अभी कुछ दिनों पहले अम्बेडकर जयंती का हुआ, हमने प्राइम मिनिस्टर का उसमें अम्बेडकर जयंती से रिलेटेड, तो अगर आप कुछ ऐसा गलत कमेंट कर देते हो, कुछ भी आपसे गलती हो जाती है, तो वो खाली आपकी गलती नहीं है, वो उस पोस्ट के बिहाफ पे आप जो बात कर रहे हो, और एक पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर के बारे में बात कर रहे हो, चाहे वो किसी भी सेक्टर से रिलेटेड है, आप दोनों की ही मतलब भावनाओं को आप एक तरीके से, मतलब मैं वो वर्ड नहीं यूज करना चाहती, मतलब वो एक नेगेटिव उसमें सेंस में चला जाता है। तो हर चीज के लिए आपको, कोई भी चीज है, आप एक बड़ी प्रोमिनेंट पर्सनैलिटीज के यहाँ पे आप कुछ राइट अप कर रहे हो, तो और वो अगले दिन आप उस को चाहे में जारी कर रहे हो, आप प्रेस में जारी कर रहे हो, न्यूज़पेपर में, डिजिटल में, जो भी आपके प्लेटफॉर्म्स आप उसमें जारी कर रहे हो, तो वो आप सर्कुलेट कर रहे हो सबको, आप अपने एक आप टूल हो, आप एक माध्यम हो, उस चीज को सर्कुलेशन आपकी सब जगह आ गई। फिर उसके जो रिवर्स जो कमेंट्स हैं या जो भी है, वो डिपेंड करता है। और कभी अच्छे के लिए तो जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है अच्छे के लिए कभी कोई कमेंट्स नहीं करता, जैसे ही कुछ गलत हो जाता है अगले दिन वो धड़ाधड़ उल्टा सीधा छापना शुरू कर देते हैं, जी है पीआर ने ये कर दिया वो कर दिया, एनी हाउ। तो इसलिए उस चीज से बचने के लिए आपको मतलब अपना कॉन्शियसनेस, आपकी अपनी तजुर्बा, आपको अपना एक्सपीरियंस, हर चीज को ध्यान में रखते हुए चीजों का, शब्दों का, भाषा का चयन बहुत ही संवेदनशील होकर करना चाहिए। बहुत ही मतलब उस चीज को देख के कि आप किसके बारे में लिख रहे हो और किसके लिए लिख रहे हो। आप अपने लिए नहीं लिख रहे हो, आप किसी के माध्यम से किसी के लिए लिख रहे हो, तो वो वर्ड जो आपके लिए बहुत मायने रखते हैं। वो चीज आई थिंक आप चाहे प्राइवेट सेक्टर में भी जाते हो, आप किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए काम कर रहे हो, तब भी उनके लिए आपको वो शब्दों का चयन या उनका भाषा का जो उनके हित के लिए हो, आप उनके लिए काम कर रहे हो, तो वो चीजें आपको बहुत ही चीज करनी चाहिए। एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं अपना थोड़ा सा और कंसाइज करते हुए मैं अपनी दो तीन बातें और कहना चाह रही थी कि क्योंकि ये मास कम्युनिकेशन डिपार्टमेंट से अभी आपका ये ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ है, तो मैं डॉक्टर सुरेंद्र हैं जिनके थ्रू अभी मेरा ये सब बातचीत हो रही थी, तो मैं उनसे भी ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को डीपीआर हरियाणा में भी कभी आप ट्रेनिंग के लिए भेजिए। आप उनको बताएं कि गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में हाउ टू वी आर वर्किंग, कि बच्चे हमारे पास आते हैं, दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी से आते हैं, आउट ऑफ स्टेट्स भी आते हैं बच्चे हमारे पास, तो आप उनको बताएं कि हमारे अलग अलग विंग्स हैं, उसमें कैसे काम होता है, क्या काम करते हैं हम, कैसे उसको मतलब ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं हर चीज को। तो वो चीजें आपके लिए बहुत मतलब बेनिफिशियल रहेंगी, मेरी ये सजेशन है। एंड वंस अगेन मैं आपको थैंक्स करती हूँ और आपको जनसंपर्क दिवस की पुनः बहुत बहुत बधाई, एंड सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स के लिए थैंक यू कि उन्होंने भी अपने विचार इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे रखे और मुझे भी मौका दिया। धन्यवाद, थैंक यू सो मच।
Sharing your age-long experience with our students and offering us an opportunity to have an internship in your department and learning how the government sector PR is working. Thank you so much, ma'am.
थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Our next speaker, who is also known as PR Guru, Dr. Suresh Gorji. He is founder and CEO of PR for You, a public relations and email management consultancy. Public relations at the rate online, online perception and reputation management consultancies. Founder and director of Art Expo, an organization to promote fine arts and theatre. Author of 4 books on public relations and event management, and a regular blogger on public relations and related subjects, has written more than 100 blogs. Dr. Suresh Gaur, widely acknowledged as PR Guru in India, is a PR and communication expert. He has over 26 years experience of planning, strategizing, and execution of communication programs, including 15 years of teaching public relations, advertising, and event management at various top-notch media colleges, that is ESCO, AU, IIMC, IMSIT, YMCA, and PSG, Pune. He is honored with Doctor of Letters, DLit, with specialization in public relations. Welcome a lot. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You to share your experience, and with this much experience of great experience, we are sure that we are going to learn a lot from you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Is my voice clear? Can you hear my voice? No problem. Thank you. Thank you. My dear friends from Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Central University of Haryana, Mahendragarh, distinguished speakers, and very dear friends, V.K. Satish Namboodiripad, Shri Rajendra Chaudhary ji, Srimati Urvashi, Mr. Sunit Mukherjee, again a very dear friend, Dr. Amit Sangwan, and dear listeners, students. A very happy National PR Day to all present here. Only yesterday, I had compiled my 104th blog on the significance of National PR Day, 21st April, and why on April 21st, National PR Day is celebrated. There are 2 reasons for celebrating National PR Day on 21st April every year. First, On 21st April, PR Code of Ethics were adopted by Public Relations Society of India, in short PRSI, in its first All India Public Relations Conference held in New Delhi in 1968. And second, on 21st April 1986, late Dr. C.V. Narasimha Reddy, the then president of PRSI, gave a call to all the public relation professionals and practitioners of India to observe 21st April as National PR Day, to rededicate themselves to the cause of public relations and organizational excellence. Friends, you must have heard or read about Mr. Herbert Marshall McLuhan, or Marshall McLuhan, who was a communication theorist and who became famous during the 1960s for his studies of the effects of mass media on thought and behavior. Friends, why I am discussing Marshall McLuhan today? The reason is the theme of today's seminar and special dialogue is public relations in the age of misinformation. In my opinion, misinformation or fake news is an organized line. Organized line, सोच समझ के प्लान करके झूठ बोलना. PR is a source of trusted content in a world of uncertainty. Both the media and the consumers seeking out trustworthy brands trust PR practitioners like us to deliver truthful content, while the clients call on us to protect their reputation in a risky world today. The 21st century in which we are living is a media saturated, technology dependent, and globally connected world. Today's digitized world has made it easier than ever for content creation and distribution. The evolving and complex digital landscape has exposed individuals to a vast array of unfiltered information available in multiple formats. Social media have become breeding grounds for large scale information sharing. Unconfirmed information flourishes in the wide open media of the digital age, spurring concerns about its role in influencing public opinion. Today's information environment is rife with misinformation and fake news stories. The unregulated nature of the internet has contributed to large masses of organized lying and fake news stories being created and circulated online, causing massive confusion among people. The rapidly changing information landscape, the growing distrust in mainstream news institutions, and decline of traditional news sources have all contributed to the increasing circulation of misinformation and disinformation. These dynamics testify to the mounting challenges facing online users to assess the credibility of information. A growing public mistrust in the media, coupled with a lack of shared understanding of what constitutes a reliable news source, is a testament to the declining trust and confidence in the information people receive from online news sources. Friends, Marshall McLuhan once said, medium is the message. What it means? It means that the forms and methods, that is, the media used to communicate information, have a significant impact on the messages they deliver, including the meanings and other perceptions about those messages. Friends, I would like to share a few important figures with you that will set the tone of my today's talk. Our country's population is over 142.86 crores as of now. Smartphone users having internet connections in India are around 75 crores. 48.7% of India's population is using internet. Facebook users in India are around 315 millions. Twitter users in India are around 25 millions. Instagram users in India are around 230 millions. Pinterest users in India are around 450 millions. LinkedIn users in India are around 99 millions. YouTube users are around 467 millions. TikTok, though banned in India, but its users in India are around 200 millions. Telegram users in India are around 120 millions. Current affairs and news TV channels as of now are around 240. And newspapers as of now are over 1 lakh 5,000 newspapers, 1 lakh 5,000 all over India. Friends, from year 1950 to early 1990s, the focus of PR professionals was on print media that included newspapers, news magazines, trade journals, and electronic media, which was restricted to Doordarshan and Akashvani or All India Radio. And I had never heard terms like misinformation, disinformation, or fake news in those days. I'm pretty sure that these terms never existed till the end of 20th century. Friends, internet began in India in year 1986, but was available to general public on 15th August 1995. Christianed as Web 1.0 or 1.0. This only allowed one-dimensional communication process. It was the stage of evolution of World Wide Web, when only static HTML was possible. People could not take part in content development. The period of Web 1.0 is roughly from 1995 to early 2004. The disadvantages features of Web 1.0 resulted in second generation of World Wide Web called Web 2, which we were using from 2004, 2005 till now. Friends, Web 2.0 gave birth to new media or digital media or computer mediated media, CMC, which include a wide variety of web-related communication technologies such as blogs, like I write blogs, wikis, online social networking websites, virtual world, that is metaverse. Web 2 enhanced the communication process by allowing people to participate in creating web content and also information sharing. In other words, you can say that it began with just reading the content on websites, Web 1.0, but now users can give their input and increase the scope of content, Web 2.0. And this new technology became origin of misinformation. That is sharing information without knowing it is wrong. What is misinformation? That is sharing information without knowing it is wrong, or of disinformation, that is deliberately misleading or biased information, manipulated narrative of facts, propaganda, and of fake news, that is purposely crafted, sensational, emotionally charged, misleading, or totally fabricated information that mimics the form of mainstream news. News articles, quotes, pictures, etc., can be shared in an instantaneous click response, regardless if it is a good or bad. Fact checking, validation, and plain common sense were not at all employed, and misinformation, disinformation, and fake news can become an issue in short order and lead to major crises and later become an emergency. Therefore, in the ages of instant news, the role of PR has become more and more important. Friends, misinformation, disinformation, and fake news spread in digital media are becoming a serious social challenge. It is leading to the toxic atmosphere in the virtual world and causing unrest in the real world, in where we are living. In the age of the internet, it is a serious problem as rumors, morphed images, clickbaits, motivated stories, unverified information, planted stories for various interests spread easily among over 60 crore internet users in India. 60 crore, understand it? In our Bharat, WhatsApp is the platform most vulnerable to misinformation, disinformation, and fake news. billions of people, out of which a vast percentage is uneducated, are using smartphones with internet connectivity, innocently forwarding messages every day, are seen as most vulnerable to this misinformation and fake news. Friends, public relation professionals like me have been tasked with a very specific and basic responsibility. And key amongst them for countering misinformation and fake news are communication management, relationship management, crisis management, and risk management, all of which lead to a consulting role with the top management of an organization as an expert communication advisor or on organizational policies. In my opinion, an accomplished PR professional helps integrate the concerns of the organization's publics into the management decision making process. This extends to how misinformation or fake news is addressed and countered by the organization. Friends, now the question is how PR practitioners can take on misinformation. My answer to this question is that PR professionals or practitioners can use a cluster of reactive public relations strategies. Reactive public relations strategies. For example, preemptive action, offensive response strategies, defensive response strategies, diversionary response strategies, vocal conversation, vocal strategies, rectifying behavior strategies, strategies in action to neutralize the negative effect of online misinformation, disinformation, and of fake news on their clients. At the same time, I would also suggest that PR professionals should empathize on the basics of PR profession. For example, a crisis communication plans should be updated to include potential threats and proposed responses. B, keep managing brand reputation on an ongoing basis. This includes monitoring mentions of the client's brand on all social and traditional channels. C, by maintaining an active presence on clients' social channels because clients' followers are more apt to come to their client's defense or point out when something is posted that isn't in a usual tone. D, be responsive when an issue arises. We live in a world where we have seconds to capture attention and seconds to lose it. And E, build relationship with journalists, bloggers, influencers, and different target audience. Friends, PR professionals have an obligation to help clients to identify what is and what is not fact based. Responsible public relations professionals provide facts, encourage a transparent relationship with the target public, and are responsive to questions and issues as they arise. In doing so, misinformation, disinformation, and fake news are revealed for what they really are, and the public trust is built over time to organically combat and filter out this noise. As PR practitioners, or professionals, it is our responsibility to help the client understand what separates trustworthy media from irresponsible or even malicious outlets. News and social media channels we check as a fertilizer for untruths. To conclude, I would like to tell you how to manage the fast spreading misinformation or false information. First step, understand motivation. While they have, they may have the same effect on reputation. Misinformation and disinformation are distinguished by intent. The sharer of misinformation believes the falsehood to be true. The sharer of disinformation manufactures it to intentionally spread it a lie. A communication campaign is probably enough to combat misinformation, while disinformation will likely require a more extensive approach. B. Know how disinformation spreads. Determining the root cause of a falsehood proliferation is key in fighting back. Disinformation travels 5 times faster than factual information online. Information that is simply stated, seemingly credible, affirms a popular opinion or brand new can indicate effective disinformation. Start listening. 3. Disinformation typically originates in the fringes of the internet or on the dark web. Expand your monitoring services to include the dark web. Keep an eye on malicious sites for using dark web crawlers or fake news monitoring services, which track hundreds of websites and provide real time alerts if disinformation appears to be headed to mainstream. 4 or D, change the narrative. Be prepared. Really understand who may target the company, why, and their positioning to plan your response ahead of time. If needed, after your communication to address a molehill before it becomes a mountain. Brands need to have a strategy and develop messaging, responsing, and safeguards so when attack occurs, they are ready to go. Use crisis communication plan as a starting point for addressing false information. And E5, leverage support network. While business need to come to their own defense, endorsements and opinions from credible third parties can be invaluable, but you must start building those relationships now. F6, make friends before you need them is a maxim of crisis communication. Remember that nobody is going to risk their own reputation and credibility for an organization and in a situation they are not familiar with. Misinformation or false information has always existed. But with the right proactive and reactive tools, PR professionals can defend and manage the image, perception, and reputation of their client. आपको महाभारत में याद होगा जब द्रोणाचार्य नहीं मर पा रहे थे, नहीं हार रहे थे, तो युधिष्ठिर को कहा गया कि इनको कहिए कि इनका पुत्र मारा गया। युधिष्ठिर बोले मैं तो नहीं कह सकता, मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा। बोले आपको झूठ बोलने को कौन कर रहा है, आपको सिर्फ इतना कह रहा है अश्वत्थामा था, उनके हाथी का नाम अश्वत्थामा था। तो युधिष्ठिर ने बहुत ऊंचे से कहा अश्वत्थामा हता नरो व कुंजरा, वो धीरे से कहा। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हमारे इतिहास में फेक न्यूज या मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन या डिसइन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं थी, लेकिन उसके पीछे कारण थे, सत्य के कारण थे। भगवान कृष्ण महाभारत के युद्ध के सबसे बड़े अभिनेता थे। Last but not least, on National PR Day, I would request all the PR professionals to practice ethical public relations and not become a party to propaganda or negative publicity. Fair, honest, and accurate communication with the media and the public fosters trust and respect. Remaining credible helps protect our clients' target publics from rumors, conspiracy theories, and misinformation or fake news as they navigate the never ending list of headlines on their social media feeds. In doing so, we can collectively drive out unreliable sources to limit the spread of misinformation and disinformation or fake news. Friends, misinformation, disinformation, and fake news have the potential to polarize public opinion, to promote violent extremism and hate speech, and ultimately to undermine democracies and reduce trust in the democratic process. Therefore, I would also request all the media educators, institutions, and colleges providing media education to provide their students with a solid education on media, PR, and information literacy as part of the curriculum. Media educators must also be well trained in the subject to empower students with the necessary competence to critically understand and assess information reported by all forms of the media. Thank you very much. Namaste. Jai Hind. Any questions?
Highlighted and discussed theory, trend, current practices, and tactics for current day PR. You provide solution and steps also how to combat this misinformation age in the digital age of PR. Thank you so much, sir. Now the wait is over and it's the time to have an interaction and listen to an very experienced academician, journalist, researcher, and a PR professional, and a very dynamic personality. Dr. Amit Sangwan. He is a JRF awardee, presently working as Associate Professor and Head of Journalism and Mass Communication Department in Chaudhry Devilal University, Sirsa since 2007. Earlier, he has served as an information officer in the Public Relations Department of Government of Haryana and was attached with the Chief Minister of Haryana and Education Minister. He has also worked as a correspondent and sub-editor of different news dailies. He has also the journalistic experience of G News Noida and Sahara TV. Dr. Sangwan has given various talks on Rohtak AIR from time to time, and he has also contributed for different newspapers and magazines on social issues for the upliftment of society. He is performing the additional duties of Director Public Relations of the university from last one decade onward. Such a wide experience, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us, and we are very eager to listen your experience, your knowledge in the field of PR.
Thank you, Bharti ma'am. First of all, I want to congratulate Dr. Ashok and his team for organizing such a wonderful event. Sorry for the interruption. मैं बधाई देना चाहूँगा डॉक्टर अशोक जी को और उनकी टीम को, डॉक्टर सुरेंद्र जी को जो सूत्रधार हैं इस कार्यक्रम के, और विश्वविद्यालय के मुखिया प्रोफेसर टंकेश्वर जी जिनके दिशा निर्देशन में कार्यक्रम हो रहा है। 2 वर्ष पूर्व चौधरी देवलाल विश्वविद्यालय सिरसा ने भी पीआर डे को सेलिब्रेट किया था, लेकिन हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी क्योंकि स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी और छोटी यूनिवर्सिटी है, इतना बड़ा कार्यक्रम नहीं था। स्पीकर्स जो हैं वो सुरेश जी थे उस टाइम पे, और उर्वशी मैडम भी थे, लेकिन पीआईबी से राजेंद्र जी या इस तरह दिल्ली से अपने सतीश जी की नोट स्पीकर, हमारे पास इतने बड़े बड़े स्पीकर्स जो है वो नहीं थे। और जो पीआर इन द एज ऑफ मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन जो टॉपिक जो वो चूज किया गया है, टॉपिक इज आल्सो वेरी रिलेवेंट। और लास्ट स्पीकर होने पे मेरे लिए मुश्किल है क्या छोड़ू, ज्यादातर चीजें जो है वो कवर हो चुकी हैं, लेकिन बीइंग ए टीचर मेरे को ड्यूटी असाइन की गई है, तो मैं मीडिया एजुकेटर होने के नाते, पीआर प्रोफेशनल होने के नाते कुछ अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस जो है वो शेयर करना चाहूँगा। एक्सपीरियंसेस में ये है कि पीआर प्रोफेशनल जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उन स्टूडेंट्स को एक मैसेज यही है, सुनीत सर ने भी इस तरह मतलब संदेश दिया था, लैंग्वेज के ऊपर आपकी कमांड जो है वो होनी अत्यंत आवश्यक है। लैंग्वेज के साथ-साथ टेक्नो फ्रेंडली भी आपको होना अत्यंत आवश्यक है। कारण क्या है? उसके पीछे टेक्नोलॉजी हैज़ मेड द रिवॉल्यूशन इन द फील्ड ऑफ द मीडिया। आपका लेटेस्ट जो है इन्फॉर्मेशंस जो है, इन्फॉर्मेशंस की बम्बार्डमेंट जो है वो होती है, तो कौन-सी इन्फॉर्मेशन ठीक है, कौन-सी इन्फॉर्मेशन गलत है, इन इन्फॉर्मेशंस के बारे में इस तरह मतलब जो टूल्स हैं, उन टूल्स की आपको जानकारी जो है वो अत्यंत आवश्यक है। फैक्ट चेकिंग के वेरियस टूल्स हैं। राजेंद्र सर ने इस तरह बताया बखूबी कि पीआईबी की वेबसाइट्स के ऊपर, पीआईबी के डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म्स के ऊपर भी फैक्ट चेकिंग की जो है वो जानकारी है, जानकारी उपलब्ध है। तो उस तरह के टूल्स की जो है आपको पूरी तरीके से जानकारी जो है वो अत्यंत आवश्यक है। साथ के साथ जो है क्रिएटिविटी, डाइवर्जेंट थिंकिंग जो है, स्पैम ऑफ रीडिंग, स्पैम ऑफ अटेंशन जो है वो दिनों दिन जो है रीडर्स का, ऑडियंस का जो है वो कम होता जा रहा है। तो एक अपनी बात या अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की, अपने संगठन की बात जो है बेहतर तरीके से लोगों तक पहुंचाने के लिए, छवि निर्माण हेतु या फिर अपना संदेश जो है बेहतर तरीके से पहुंचाने के लिए क्रिएटिविटी जो है आपके कंटेंट के अंदर जो है क्रिएटिविटी का होना भी अत्यंत आवश्यक है। ग्राफिक्स हैं, लेटेस्ट ग्राफिक्स का प्रयोग करके इम्पैक्टफुल तरीके से आप कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इंफॉर्मेशन जो है फैक्चुअल फैक्ट्स का होना अत्यंत आवश्यक है। फैक्ट्स अगर नहीं होंगे तो जो है वो कहीं ना कहीं मिसलीडिंग इंफॉर्मेशन अगर आप देते हो तो क्रेडिबिलिटी के ऊपर खतरा हो जाता है। विश्वसनीयता को होना अत्यंत, मीडिया का ये अगर बात करें तो मीडिया के अंदर से अलग अलग चैनल्स हैं, सतीश सर ने बताया भी 900 के आसपास जो चैनल्स हैं उसमें से ज़्यादातर 300 न्यूज़ चैनल्स हैं। 300 न्यूज़ चैनल्स की अगर आप स्टडी करते हैं तो उसके अंदर कंटेंट जो है 3 या साढ़े 3 घंटे का कंटेंट जो 24 आवर्स न्यूज़ चैनल्स हमें दिखाते हैं, तो उसके अंदर फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन कितनी है, कितना फैक्चुअल है, कितना नहीं। सुनीत सर ने जिस तरह बताया कि पोस्टल के जो न्यूज़ है वो किस तरीके से प्रिंट मीडिया से मीडिया कन्वर्जेंस की वजह से प्रिंट मीडिया से होती है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया भी जो है फैक्ट्स के ऊपर प्रॉपर ध्यान न दे दिए जाने की वजह से या टीआरपी अपनी बढ़ाने के वजह से टीआरपी बनाने के चक्कर में किस तरीके से सूचनाओं का इस तरह मतलब जो है लोगों तक फैलती हैं, उनको कंट्रोल किस तरीके से करना है कि इस तरीके से नहीं। सुरेश सर ने बताया डैमेज जो है वो हो चुका होता है इस तरह मतलब जब इंफॉर्मेशन एक बार स्प्रेड हो जाती है तो उस डैमेज को किस तरीके से कंट्रोल करना है। डैमेज का एक उदाहरण जो है मैं देख रहा था, सुनीत सर ने इस तरह मतलब बताया था, गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर का जिक्र किया था। गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर के अंदर वो चीज़ें नहीं, कहने का तात्पर्य उनका वो नहीं था, लेकिन उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए राजेंद्र जी ने इस तरह मतलब प्रॉम्प्ट जो एक्शन जो है वो लिया। उसी तरीके से उर्वशी मैम ने भी प्रॉम्प्ट एक्शन जो है, तो पीआर प्रोफेशनल को भी अपनी आंख कान सारी चीजें जो है वो खुले रखने चाहिए और उसके अकॉर्डिंग जो है तुरंत जो है वो आपको इंफॉर्मेशन जो है वो जो दें वो बेहतर तरीके से इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करें और तथ्यों पर आधारित जो है वो इंफॉर्मेशन होनी चाहिए। और जो मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन की बात है, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन जो है जब इंफॉर्मेशंस की बम्बार्डमेंट होगी तो उसमें मिस इन्फॉर्मेशंस भी होंगे। तो गेट कीपिंग का जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, मास मीडिया के जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, वो गेट कीपिंग किस तरीके से करें, किस बेहतर तरीके से विश्वसनीयता आपकी जो है वो बरकरार रहे, ताकि मीडिया हाउसेज भी जो पुराने जो मीडिया हाउसेज हैं उनकी विश्वसनीयता बरकरार है। यूट्यूब चैनल्स आ गए, लेकिन यूट्यूब चैनल्स जो लोग चला रहे हैं और मीडिया हाउसेज वाले जो यूट्यूब चैनल्स चला रहे हैं उनकी अगर क्रेडिबिलिटी के अनेक स्टडीज जो है, रिसर्च ये बताती हैं कि क्रेडिबिलिटी जो है, जो मान लो कोई न्यूज़पेपर है या कोई टीवी चैनल है, उसके जो है वो यूट्यूब चैनल्स हैं दैट आर मोर क्रेडिबल एज कंपेयर टू द अदर यूट्यूब चैनल्स। लेकिन क्योंकि अब मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन की कंटेंट भी वही प्रोसेस है कि जो डिमांड होगी मार्केट के अंदर, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन पे यूट्यूब चैनल्स जो बढ़ रहे हैं उसके पीछे कहीं ना कहीं क्या है कि स्पेस जो है सोशल मीडिया हमें प्रोवाइड कर रहा है अपनी बात को रखने का, अपनी अभिव्यक्ति को जो है जो लोग ये मानते हैं कि मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया के अंदर इस तरह मतलब उनकी बात नहीं पहुंच पा रही, तो वो चीज़ें जो है सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम से जो है बेहतरीन तरीके से बताई तो जा रही हैं, लेकिन उसमें क्या ठीक है क्या गलत है उसको लेकर पाठक भी, दर्शक भी जो है वो दिग्भ्रमित है। एक चैनल कुछ दिखा रहा है, दूसरा चैनल कुछ दिखा रहा है, या एक न्यूज़पेपर के अंदर जो कंटेंट का जो प्रेजेंटेशन है वो दूसरे तरीके से है, दूसरे उसके अंदर है पेपर के अंदर वो प्रेजेंटेशन अलग तरीके से है। तो एक पाठक भी जो है, पाठक को भी समझदार होने की आवश्यकता है। साथ के साथ पीआर प्रोफेशनल्स को जो है वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का इस तरह मतलब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की छवि निर्माण के लिए प्रोपेगेंडा का सहारा जो है वो इस तरीके का ना लें। वो फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशंस जो है वो पब्लिक के साथ शेयर करें, और जो दूसरे कम्पिटिटिव जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं उनकी स्टडी किस तरीके से, वो कैंपेन उनके किस तरीके से चल रहे हैं उसके बारे में भी जो है वो टाइम टू टाइम स्टडी बेहतर तरीके से अगर रिसर्च करके जिसे करें और कैंपेन अगर चलाते हैं प्रॉपर प्लानिंग के साथ जो है और फैक्चुअल फैक्ट्स पर आधारित अगर वो इस तरह कैंपेन चलाते हैं, तो नो डाउट जो इंफॉर्मेशन है, संदेश जो है वो बेहतर तरीके से लोगों तक जो है वो पहुंचाया जा सकता है। ईमानदार तरीके से, निष्पक्ष तरीके से पीआर प्रोफेशनल्स जब इंफॉर्मेशन को शेयर करते हैं तो मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन वाली जो समस्या है वो समाज से धीरे धीरे, एकदम तो नहीं हट सकती क्योंकि चैनल नंबर ऑफ चैनल्स बहुत ज़्यादा हैं। तो मैं ज़्यादा न बोलते हुए यही संदेश जो है वो देना चाहूँगा इस तरह जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, नैतिकता के साथ जो है जनसंपर्क कर्मी या जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो अपना अभ्यास, लेखनी का अभ्यास जो है वो जारी रखें। और इस बात की वकालत मैं करना चाहूँगा कि संचारक का काम जो है मानकों के आधार पर मानकों की अनुपालना करके संदेश जो है वो लोगों तक पहुंचाना है, उनकी भाषा में, उनने के हिसाब से जो है आपका संदेश जो है वो होना चाहिए। थैंक्स a lot and thanks to the organizer for providing me the opportunity to interact with the galaxy of the intellectuals. Thanks a lot.
clear, concise and concrete details for effective PR. And a very well said word sir कि नैतिकता ध्यान में रखें, जो भी हम संचार कर रहे हैं उसमें अपने moral values को भी ध्यान में रखते हुए different medias को use करें. Thank you so much sir. Now I, Dr. Bharti Batra, Assistant Professor in this Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Central University of Haryana, on behalf of department, express my heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries and eminent speakers, and especially our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, for providing us so much cooperation, guidance, जिसके जरिए हम हर वक्त ऐसे organizations करते रहते हैं. Thank you. And अभी because we have a very good audience with us, जिन्होंने इतने ध्यान से सुना, and I guess already भी उनके mind में कुछ questions होंगे. So I would invite some questions ताकि हमारे जो speakers हैं उनके अनुभव से उनकी जिज्ञासा को भी नए directions मिल सके. Students, you may ask your questions.
Sir, on the behalf of the students, I want to ask one question. As the Suresh Goad sir said that public relation industry is also a very organized line industry, and the tool of disinformation and misinformation, it was used as a weapon by the PR professional, and now it has become the disinformation has become very dangerous for the society. So keeping in view the current situation, so what do you want to say about to the coming PR professional, how they can tackle the disinformation, because there are so many people, so many organizations, so many political parties, so many corporate organizations, they are spreading the disinformation. So it has become very difficult to face to the disinformation in the present time. So I want your point of view on this regard, on this question, sir.
सुरेंद्र जी, आपका जो सवाल है, मैं हिंदी में बोलूं ठीक रहेगा? आपका जो सवाल है वो बहुत ही बढ़िया सवाल है. देखिए, मैं पब्लिक रिलेशन इंडस्ट्री में 1988 से हूँ, 1988, यानी कि 25 साल से ऊपर हो गए हैं इस इंडस्ट्री को समझते हुए. पर 8, 5, 13, 35 साल हो गए, 35 ईयर्स. और मैं ये समझता हूँ कि अगर आप एक सही PR प्रोफेशनल हैं, ध्यान से सुनिएगा मेरी बात, अगर आप एक सही PR प्रोफेशनल हैं तो आप कभी झूठ नहीं बोलेंगे, कभी आप झूठ नहीं बोलेंगे, और आप झूठ को प्रमोट नहीं करेंगे. किसी भी पोजीशन पे आप बैठे हो, चाहे आप कहीं हो, किसी भी पोस्ट पे हो, ये आपका, अगर आप या तो अपने को धोखा दीजिए या पब्लिक को धोखा दीजिए, दो चीजें हैं. तो मैं एज ए PR प्रोफेशनल, मैंने आज तक झूठ नहीं बोला अपने फील्ड के अंदर. मेरे को अगर किसी ने रिक्वेस्ट की कि साहब इसमें ये चाहिए, मैंने कहा नहीं भाई, मैं नहीं कर सकता. अगर आपको सच प्रमोट कराना है तो आई एम देयर, झूठ के लिए कोई और ढूंढ लीजिए, मैं नहीं. ये इंसान के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि वो सच के साथ चलता है या झूठ को बढ़ावा देता है. और आपकी अगर नौकरी की मजबूरी है कि आपको झूठ को बढ़ावा देना है, तो उसमें आप हेल्पलेस हैं, या तो नौकरी छोड़ दीजिए. नौकरी छोड़ेंगे तो भैया कमाएं, घर को संभालेंगे कैसे? देखिए, कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना बहुत बड़ी बात होती है. आप अपने पेशे से कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर रहे हैं, मैं अपने पेशे से कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करता. मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स को भी यही सिखाता हूँ कि कभी कॉम्प्रोमाइज मत करना अपनी लाइफ के साथ, अपने पेशे के साथ. अगर कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर लिया तो आपको कोई भी, देखिए हर इंसान की एक कीमत होती है, आप वो कीमत उसे दे दो, वो खरीद लोगे उसे आप. लेकिन हर इंसान खरीदा नहीं जाता है, ये भी याद रखिए. हर इंसान की वैल्यूज बहुत डिफरेंट होती है, कोई किसी तरह से खरीदा जाता है, कोई किसी तरह से खरीदा जाता है. लेकिन जो ये मान के चलता है कि मेरी वैल्यूज बहुत स्ट्रांग है, उसे आप नहीं खरीद सकते, वो आपको मिसगाइड नहीं करेगा. तो मैं यही कहूँगा कि अगर आप PR प्रोफेशन में हैं, अगर आपको मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन प्रमोट करने के लिए कहा जाए, डिस इन्फॉर्मेशन प्रमोट करने के लिए कहा जाए, फेक न्यूज प्रमोट करने के लिए कहा जाए, आप मना कर दीजिए कि सर सॉरी, आई विल लीव द जॉब, डू इट योरसेल्फ. या उससे करा लीजिए जिसको आप खरीद सकते हैं, जिसको अपनी उसका डर नहीं है. देखिए, एक अंदर जमीर होता है, बहुत बड़ी चीज. या तो अपने जमीर से धोखा कर दीजिए, और जमीर है कौन? द गॉड हिमसेल्फ. भगवान कहता है कि वो आत्मा रूप में हर भूत में, यानी भूत मीन्स हर शरीर में विद्यमान है. तो जब आप झूठ बोलते हैं तो वो जो अंदर बैठा हुआ है ना, उसको सुनाई दे रहा है कि आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं. तो किससे झूठ बोल रहे हैं आप? उससे बोल रहे हैं जो अंदर बैठा है. तो तो आइदर बी ट्रूथफुल टू योरसेल्फ और डोंट स्पीक अनट्रूथ। मैं हमेशा ही कहता हूँ अपने स्टूडेंट्स को पीआर के कि अगर पीआर की फील्ड में आना है, एडवर्टाइजिंग की बात नहीं कर रहा, एडवर्टाइजिंग में झूठ सच सब दिखता है। वो कहेंगे हमारी क्रीम 7 दिन लगाइए गोरे हो जाओगे, आज तक कोई क्रीम ऐसी नहीं बनी। शैम्पू वाले कहते हैं बाल नहीं झड़ेंगे, बाल फिर भी झड़ते हैं। ठीक है, परमानेंट बालों का रंग काला हो जाएगा, कोई बालों का रंग काला नहीं होता है। आप बूढ़े से जवान हो जाएंगे, कोई जवान नहीं होता है, सिर्फ सोच है। So advertising is not PR, and PR is not publicity. PR is not lobbying. PR is not lobbying. PR is not propaganda. PR is nothing but PR. तो जिसने ये समझ लिया कि PR होता क्या है, वो झूठ नहीं बोलेगा। मैंने ऐसे PR प्रोफेशनल्स देखे, उन्होंने नौकरियां छोड़ दी, लेकिन कंपनी को कहा कि मैं ये काम नहीं कर सकता, आई एम सॉरी। मेरे साथ खुद मैं कोट नहीं कर पाऊंगा, ऐसा होता है जब आपको लगता है कि यार ये आदमी आपसे गलत कुछ मांग रहा है। रिसेंटली किसी से मेरी बात हुई, उसने कहा भाई कुछ दिन पहले की बात है, एक बहुत बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी का कोई सीईओ था, तो उसने मुझे कुछ ऐसी बात कही कि हम ये चाहते हैं। मैंने उनको कहा सॉरी, ये काम के लिए आपने गलत आदमी पकड़ लिया, किसी गलत आदमी के पास आप आ जाए, इस काम के लिए कोई और ढूंढिए, मैं नहीं करूँगा। तो ये अब आपके ऊपर है एज ए पीआर प्रोफेशनल कि आप डिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, फेक न्यूज प्रमोट करेंगे या उसको रोकेंगे कि ये प्रमोट ना हो, जिससे लोगों में अनरेस्ट ना फैले। इस देश में फेक न्यूज, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, डिस इन्फॉर्मेशन को लेकर कितनी प्रॉब्लम हो चुकी है, आप खुद देखिए, आपके सामने है। हम रोज देखते हैं, बड़ा बड़ा दिल खराब होता है कि क्या हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, पहले तो ऐसा नहीं था। मैं जब खुद आपको कहा 20th सेंचुरी में ऐसा कुछ नहीं था, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, डिस इन्फॉर्मेशन। मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि लोग झूठ नहीं बोलते, लोग झूठ बोलते हैं, लेकिन वो किसी का नुकसान नहीं करते। कहते ना, ऐसा सच जो किसी का नुकसान करे मत बोलिए, चुप हो जाइए, और ऐसा झूठ जो किसी को खुशी दे सके, खुशी देने के लिए उसको खुश कर दीजिए, लेकिन झूठ भी सोच समझ के बोलिए कि जिससे किसी का नुकसान ना हो। यू हैव टू कीप बोथ द थिंग्स, बोथ द तराजू के पड़ रहे हैं ना, उनको बहुत संभाल कर वे करना पड़ता है कम्युनिकेशन के अंदर, क्योंकि आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि आप क्या मीडिया यूज कर रहे हैं कम्युनिकेट करने के लिए। आर यू यूजिंग गवर्नमेंट मीडिया और यूजिंग अ प्राइवेट मीडिया? देखिए, दूरदर्शन कभी झूठ नहीं बोलता, आई मस्ट से दैट। ऑल इंडिया रेडियो कभी झूठ नहीं बोलता, 100% आई कैन अश्योर दिस। गवर्नमेंट की कोई एजेंसी, बीओसी या पीआईबी झूठ नहीं बोलती, उनका काम ही नहीं है, बिकॉज दे हैव टू स्पीक ट्रुथ। उनको पता है कि हम कल आंसरेबल है अगर हमने झूठ बोल दिया। प्राइवेट चैनल जितना मर्जी बुलवा दो। सो ये आपको ध्यान में रखना है कि किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के आप प्रमुख हैं या किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में आप पीआर का काम कर रहे हैं, एंड एज ए पीआर प्रोफेशनल आपका रोल एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या है। पीआर इज टू प्रमोट ट्रुथ एंड फैक्ट्स, शेयर फैक्ट्स, नथिंग एल्स। आप ट्रुथ शेयर कीजिए, फैक्ट शेयर कीजिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती। सच बोल के कभी प्रॉब्लम हुई है, बता दीजिए।
बिल्कुल।
किसी को प्रॉब्लम हुई है सच बोल के? मेरी नजर में आज तक नहीं हुई है, क्योंकि सच को अपने आप डिफेंड करना आता है। झूठ के लिए प्रॉब्लम होती है, अब क्या करें, अब फंस गए, अब क्या करें, अब फंस गए, अब क्या करें। बहुत सारे रेफरेंसेस हैं मेरे पास, मैं दे नहीं सकता, सॉरी, लेकिन मजबूरी है कि आप सच के साथ खड़े हैं या झूठ के साथ खड़े हैं, ये आपको देखना है एज ए पर्सन, एज एन इंडिविजुअल एंड एज ए पीआर प्रोफेशनल। आप क्या चाहते हैं, सच चाहते हैं या झूठ चाहते हैं? एडवर्टाइजिंग की मैं फिर बात नहीं करूंगा, आपको फिर बता रहा हूं। तो अगर आप सच चाहते हैं तो आप हाथ जोड़ देंगे, भाई सॉरी ये मेरा काम नहीं है, ना मैं करूंगा। तो प्रमोट मत कीजिए मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन। आपको पता है ये गलत है तो उसको काटिए। मेरे बहुत से लोगों से इस बात पे नाराजगी हो जाती है, जो मुझे वीडियो फॉरवर्ड करते हैं व्हाट्सएप पे, मैं उनको लिख देता हूँ कि प्लीज डू नॉट फॉरवर्ड सच वीडियोस टू मी विदाउट वेरीफाइंग द फैक्ट्स। डोंट फॉरवर्ड, वो भी क्या होता है फॉरवर्ड। आजकल क्या है, वेले बैठिए दुनिया, निकला वैसे, अरे फॉरवर्ड कर दो। अरे भाई, फॉरवर्ड करने का मतलब क्या है? अगर आपके लिए आया आप उसे देखो, लेकिन आपको नहीं करना। लेकिन मैं हमेशा जवाब दे देता हूँ, मुझे कोई भी वीडियो आता है या कोई मैसेज आता है, मैं लिख देता हूँ कि भाई प्लीज डोंट फॉरवर्ड मी। और खास तौर पर पॉलिटिकल मैसेजेस, मेरा अपना फेसबुक ग्रुप है पब्लिक रिलेशंस एट ऑनलाइन, जिसमें 18,900 मेंबर्स को मैं एडमिन कर रहा हूँ। उस ग्रुप में मैंने बड़ा स्पेशली लिखा हुआ है, पॉलिटिकल, रिलीजियस कोई भी पोस्ट अलाउ नहीं होगी, क्योंकि आई बिलीव कि हमको समाज के अंदर एक बेहतर समाज बनाना है, और जब हम एक बेहतर समाज बनाएंगे तभी हम कुछ कर पाएंगे। यही तो जैसी दुनिया चल रही है वैसे चल रही है.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Any other
Thank
question?
you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Sir, today we have like we are only discussing about information, disinformation, but if we can also from your experience we can gain something like we make strategies in PR. We make Chai Pe Charcha was a strategy of PR executing going between public. So how these strategies are developed and how can a student learn to how they can learn these skills that how to get new PR strategies, how to make new campaigns, how to think on that. So if you can guide us on that. Thank you.
देखिए पीआर के कुछ थंब रूल्स होते हैं. पीआर के थंब रूल्स, वो थंब रूल्स क्या है? 5 W's and 1 H. आपको भी पता होगा 5 W's and 1 H. अगर नहीं पता है तो बता दीजिए. ये थंब रूल है पीआर का, 5 W's and 1 H. नॉट ओनली थंब पीआर, आपकी जिंदगी का भी थंब रूल 5 W's and 1 H होना चाहिए. मीन्स वाई. कोई भी काम है तो सबसे पहला सवाल होता है वाई, ये क्यों हुआ. जब आपको वाई की क्लैरिटी है तब आप व्हाट, व्हेन, हु और वेयर के ऊपर जाएंगे. आप कोई भी न्यूज देख लीजिए, अगर उसमें वाई नहीं है तो वो न्यूज नहीं होती. मास मीडिया का सबसे बड़ा रूल है वाई. अगर वाई क्लैरिटी नहीं है तो वो न्यूज नहीं है. तो 5 W's की अगर आपको क्लैरिटी है देन हाउ, उसको डील कैसे करना है उसकी स्ट्रेटेजी बनाई जाती है. एवरी सिचुएशन हैज ए डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटेजी. उसके लिए फिर अगेन थंब रूल है स्वॉट एनालिसिस, SWOT, स्ट्रेंथ्स, वीकनेसेस, अपॉर्चुनिटीज, थ्रेट्स. ये अगेन स्ट्रेटेजीज के अंदर काम आता है. स्ट्रेंथ्स रिलेट्स विद अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड वीकनेसेस रिलेट्स टू थ्रेट्स. अगर आप में कमजोरी है तो आप थ्रेट के लिए ओपन है. अगर आपके अंदर स्ट्रेंथ है तो आपके पास अपॉर्चुनिटीज अपने आप आएंगी. तो कोई भी स्ट्रेटेजी आपको बनानी है डिपेंड्स ऑन केस टू केस बेसिस. केस क्या है, क्या केस है, वो क्यों हुआ, किसने किया, कब किया, कहाँ किया और उसको करेक्ट कैसे करना है. अगर आपने इशू को इशू के वक्त पकड़ लिया, इशू याद रखिएगा, इशू को इशू के वक्त पकड़ लिया. ये क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट की बात कर रहा हूं मैं आपसे, स्ट्रेटेजी की. तो पीआर में क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. और कई बड़े बड़े कॉर्पोरेट्स मैंने ऐसे देखे हैं जो क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट नहीं कर पाए. एंड रिसेंट केस हमारे सबसे बड़ा क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट अडानी ग्रुप का था. इट्स ए बिग क्राइसिस, लेकिन वो क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट नहीं कर पाए अपना. आई एम सॉरी टू से. तो मैंने उस पर ट्विटर पे भी लिखा कि अडानी को चाहिए कि इसका क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट करे, क्योंकि देश आगे बढ़ता है हमारी जब इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ आगे बढ़ती है, हमारे कॉर्पोरेट्स आगे बढ़ते हैं, लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिलता है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन होता है, प्रोडक्ट्स नए सामने आते हैं, लोगों को ये सब चीजें बहुत जरूरी है. तो उसमें अगर कोई आप पे उंगली उठा रहा है तो आपको उस उंगली उठाने वाले को जवाब देना चाहिए. भाई तूने उंगली क्यों उठाई, उसका जवाब दिए. ये नहीं कि मैं तेरी उंगली तोड़ दूंगा. नो, अंडरस्टैंड इट. क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट इज नॉट दैट. सो आपको एक स्ट्रेटेजी ड्रॉ करनी पड़ती है केस टू केस बेसिस कि इस केस में क्या स्ट्रेटेजी होनी चाहिए. तो वो अगर पीआर में अगर आपके पास कोई केस है, देखिए मैं ये नहीं कहूँगा कि वन सोल्यूशन फिट्स ऑल, ऐसा नहीं है. एवरी पीआर भी एक तरह का नहीं होता. पीआर भी टूरिज्म पीआर कर रहा है, कोई एजुकेशन पीआर कर रहा है, कोई हॉस्पिटैलिटी पीआर कर रहा है, कोई आपका एजुकेशन पीआर कर रहा है, कोई इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टेक्नोलॉजी पीआर कर रहा है, कोई ट्रैवल एंड टूरिज्म पीआर कर रहा है, कोई हेल्थ पीआर कर रहा है. डिफरेंट पीआर्स हैं, लेकिन बेसिक सबका एम है 5 W's and 1 H. उन 5 W's and 1 H की क्लैरिटी है तो आप अच्छी स्ट्रेटेजी ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. अगर नहीं है तो आप नहीं कर सकते. तो एक फॉर्मूला है रेस. किसी भी पीआर के अंदर, किसी भी पीआर का कोई स्ट्रेटेजी बनानी है तो रेस को फॉलो कीजिए. रेस आर स्टैंड फॉर रिसर्च. डू इन डेप्थ रिसर्च. इन डेप्थ रिसर्च करनी पड़ेगी आपको. ए एक्शन बेस्ड ऑन रिसर्च, सी कम्युनिकेशन प्लानिंग, ई इवैल्यूएशन एंड फीडबैक. ये एक स्ट्रेटेजी होती है किसी भी केस के अंदर आपको करना है. पीआर में कोई भी चीज है, कोई भी पीआर का किसी भी का, आपको अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी का पीआर कैंपेन करना है तो रेस पे जाइए, 5 W's and 1 H पे जाइए, स्वॉट के ऊपर जाइए. ये थंब रूल्स हैं. और सबसे बड़ा कम्युनिकेशन का थंब रूल है, मैं अप्रिशिएट करूंगा हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को. उनका जो थंब जो फॉलो करते हैं कम्युनिकेशन का, आई एम हैट्स ऑफ टू हिम. और मैंने उनको लिखा भी था ट्विटर पे कि आप जिसको फॉलो करते हैं इस कम्युनिकेशन के रूल को, आई रियली हैट्स ऑफ फॉर दैट. एक एल्बर्ट मेहराबिया हुए हैं, प्रोफेसर एल्बर्ट मेहराबिया 1960 में, वो वॉज प्रोफेसर इन UCLA। उनका एक रूल है 7%, 38%, 55%, टोटल हो गया 100%। तो 55% जो है सबसे मेजर रूल होता है बॉडी लैंग्वेज का, कि आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज क्या है, तो बॉडी कम्युनिकेशन क्या कर रही है। और 38% होता है आपकी टोन ऑफ वॉइस, आपकी स्पीड क्या है बोलने की, हाई है, लो है, फास्ट है, स्लो है। एंड 7% इज चॉइस ऑफ वर्ड्स, कि आप क्या शब्द चुने आपने बोलने के लिए। ये 55%, 38%, 7% जिस भी कम्युनिकेटर को क्लियर है, he will be the best communicator of the world। और मैं इसके लिए हमारे नरेंद्र मोदी जी को बधाई देता हूँ, प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब को आपके इस प्लेटफॉर्म के थ्रू, कि वो इस रूल के मास्टर। उनकी कम्युनिकेशन सुनिए, उनके भाषण सुनिए, मतलब he speaks so well, articulated language पे वो बात करते हैं। तो ये कहाँ से आता है, ये सीखते हैं हम सब, we all learn, and if we are not learners then we are big failures। इस बात को भी ध्यान रखिएगा। So रेस को फॉलो कीजिए, आप अपना स्वॉट एनालिसिस कीजिए, आप 5W1H को याद रखिए, और ये रूल 7%, 38%, 55% को याद रखिए। एंड सबसे ऊपर जो है 7 P's ऑफ PR को याद रखिए। 7 P's ऑफ PR भी है, ये मैंने 2012 जनवरी में इंट्रोड्यूस किए थे। ये आपने शायद सुना होगा, पीजे मैथार्टी ने 4 P's ऑफ मार्केटिंग मिक्स दिए थे, प्रोडक्ट, प्लेस, प्राइस, प्रमोशन। उन्हीं के ऊपर बेस किए हुए 7 P's हैं, इसमें 3 P's मैंने ऐड किए थे, पैकेजिंग, पोजिशनिंग एंड पीपल। हाउ टू पैकेज इट, कैसे पैकेज करना है आपने। कुछ भी बात कर, आपने देखा कुछ सामान खरीदते हैं जो अच्छा पैकेज होता है आप उसे उठा लेते हैं। आप दिवाली पे जब खरीदते हैं कौन सा बढ़िया पैकेज होता है उसे उठा, पैकेजिंग किसकी है। देन प्रमोशन, इसको प्रमोट कैसे किया जा रहा है, कैसे प्रमोट करना है, ये PR के रूल है। क्योंकि PR में जब तक आप आपकी पैकेजिंग कम्युनिकेट नहीं कर रही, लोग आपको पसंद नहीं करेंगे। जैसे ही आप, मैं हमेशा अपने स्टूडेंट्स को कहता हूँ कि जब आप जॉब के इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हैं और जब आप नॉक करते हैं डोर पे, मे आई कम इन, और वो दरवाजा खोलता है आपके लिए कि आपको जाके इंटरव्यू देना है, तो जब आप दरवाजे से टेबल तक पहुंचते हैं जहां आपका इंटरव्यू बोर्ड बैठा होता है, तभी तक फाइनल हो जाता है 80% की इसको जॉब पे रखना है कि नहीं रखना है। ये पता है आपको, IAS के इंटरव्यू में भी ये हुआ है कि जब आप अंदर इंटरव्यू देने जाते हैं तो नॉक करके डिसाइड करने के अंदर टीम जो बैठी है कि भाई इसको IAS बनाना है कि नहीं बनाना है, कोई बता रहा था मुझे। तो आप ये सोचिए आप कि किस तरह से इंटरव्यू बोर्ड, सिलेक्टर बोर्ड आपके वो जो 10 कदम 15 कदम अंदर चलते हैं, रूम गेट से लेके उस टेबल तक डिसाइड हो जाता है कि आपको नौकरी देने के लिए। दैट इज 55% बॉडी लैंग्वेज। द बॉडी लैंग्वेज प्लेज द इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट। देन उस बाद आप जब बैठते हैं कुर्सी पे जाके, द टोन ऑफ वॉइस, आपकी टोन ऑफ वॉइस क्या, आप क्या बोल रहे हैं, कैसे बोल रहे हैं, क्या आपको बोलना चाहिए, कैसे बोलना चाहिए, कितनी हाई कितनी लो, क्या पिच आपकी होनी चाहिए, एंड 7% क्या बोलना है। तो सबसे बड़ी मुश्किल ये है कि हमें नहीं पता क्या बोलना। जब मुझे आपके सुरेंद्र जी का मेल आया कि मुझे इस टॉपिक पे बोलना है, तो विल यू बिलीव कि मैंने कम से कम 10 घंटे लगाए इस टॉपिक पे क्या बोलना है डिसाइड करने के लिए, क्योंकि मुझे पता है यहाँ स्टूडेंट्स बैठे हैं, स्टूडेंट्स को क्या मुझे कहना है, मेरी टारगेट ऑडियंस कौन है, मेरी पब्लिक कौन है, मुझे ये डिसाइड करना है। तब मुझे सोच के आपको जो बताना था मैंने वो सारा बनाया, और बना के मैंने किसी को कहा कि इसे पढ़िए। जिसने पढ़ा उसको, उसने जब ओके किया तब मैंने उसको फाइनल किया। आज सुबह भी मैंने तो कोई वर्ड ऐड किए। क्यों? बिकॉज मैं जो चाहता हूँ, जो मैं कम्युनिकेट करना चाहता हूँ, उसमें क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए मुझे और सुनने वालों को। अगर मैंने कह दिया और सुनने वालों को समझ नहीं आया तो बेकार। तो ये रूल है कम्युनिकेशन का, व्हाट यू कन्वे। जैसे बर्नार्ड शॉ ने कहा, उन्होंने कहा कि भाई जो मैं कहता हूँ समझ में आना चाहिए। मार्शल मैक्लुहान का ये है, मीडियम इज द मैसेज। What medium has been chosen and what medium means words also has been chosen to convey. So this is all very important. Anything else?
Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Gaur, I would like to put in one question here because I really like that what you said, 7, 38 and 55.
Please, sir. Please,
It would be very handy for me also to communicate with our team and likewise.
Great, please.
But here the essential difference could be like when you're doing a political communication, there possibly this 55, 38, 7, I can really relate to that because that is most important thing. But when you're doing some kind of a government communication where I'm supposed to just issue a press release, I'm sitting with my secretary, I'm supposed to handle the press, I'm giving them certain information about my achievements, initiatives, some kind of new government scheme. Can there, as a government communicator, I also have some kind of a body language? Because then I'm supposed to be very bureaucratic kind of a person, using the very limited words. Every brief has been approved by secretary. I'm not supposed to go beyond that brief. So I think there's a bit of, I would say, quandary is there for a government communicator. How do I become more relevant? That's why तो सरकारी वाली communication हमेशा ना लगता है कि boring है क्योंकि उसमें ये वाला element कहीं missing हो जाता है body language और जो आप कह रहे थे and we actually focus on that 7% क्या words बोलने हैं उसके लिए 50 बार फाइल ऊपर नीचे चलती है but how to
राजेंद्र जी, मैं आपकी बात का यहाँ ही जवाब दूंगा। जब आप एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हैं तो नेचुरली आप अपने मीडिया सेंटर में करते हैं, इफ आई एम करेक्ट, ठीक है ना, जो आपके यहाँ पर है बैरिकेड के पीछे बना हुआ मीडिया सेंटर, वहाँ पे बकायदा जब आप आते हैं तो आपके साथ आपका मिनिस्टर होता है या तो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करने के लिए, या डिप्टी सेक्रेटरी होता है उस मिनिस्ट्री का, या जो भी हेड होता है वो आपके साथ होता है, उसके साथ आप होते हैं। The way you interact with the journalist, the way you interact with the journalist conveys your body language. Look, when you are coming as an authority, the authority himself has to have a body language. आपने कभी किसी ऑफिसर को कुर्ते पजामे में प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हुए नहीं देखा होगा। Body language doesn't mean that it complies the entire body. It requires dress sense also. What kind of dressing you are having? Like for a formal party, for an informal party, or for a DSOI club or a CSOI club where you go and meet people, there is a dress code. So dress code also is a part of body language. One thing. Second is the body language is you cannot be friendly while communicating with the press. Understand it very well. You cannot be friendly with the press because they have come to you for some information purpose. And when you are giving some information, there is no friendship. After completing the press conference, you can have a gathering जहाँ पे आप चाय पी रहे हैं, आपस में हंसी मजाक सब कर सकते हैं। लेकिन जब आप एक ऑफिशियल मीटिंग कर रहे हैं तो आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज होती है। जैसे कि मैं बताऊंगा कि कोई बोर्ड मीटिंग हो रही है और उस बोर्ड मीटिंग के अंदर कोई टॉप सीईओ आता है तो एवरीबॉडी स्टैंड्स अप। तो बॉडी लैंग्वेज, अगर कोई बैठा रहेगा तो वो उसकी वो होगा कि तुम इंसल्ट कर रहे हो किसी की। तो उसमें अगर आपको ये समझते हैं कि बॉडी लैंग्वेज क्या होनी चाहिए, दैट इज द इन टोटल अपीयरेंस टोटलिटी में उसको किस तरह से ऑर्गेनाइज करके एग्जीक्यूट किया बंदे ने, उसमें वो ऑफिसर्स भी आ गए, वो पर्सन्स भी आ गए जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करने आए हैं। नाउ नेक्स्ट कम्स द टोन ऑफ वॉइस। Tone of voice, because you have mic, you have a select tone of voice. You cannot be harsh, you cannot be slow. You have to be clear. You have to be clear so that you are audible. जैसे हम यहाँ बात कर रहे हैं, मैंने पहले पूछा कि आपको मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है। Simply the choice of word. You know, आंसर जो पूछा गया है उसका ही जवाब देना है। सवाल के आगे नहीं जाना है कि उनको कोई आप लूप दे दें कि भाई मैंने तो ये जवाब दे दिया, इसका एक लूज एंड मैंने छोड़ दिया, तो वो लूज एंड पकड़ के बात आगे बढ़ जाती है। तो उसमें चॉइस ऑफ वर्ड्स में यू हैव टू वेरी क्लियर कि मैंने बोलना क्या, और उस बोलने में लूज एंड नहीं छोड़ना है। अगर ये सवाल ये किया गया तो उसका ये जवाब होगा, बस, नथिंग एल्स। अपनी तरफ से कुछ ऐड नहीं करना। जैसे मैंने अपनी स्पीच को खत्म करते हुए मैंने महाभारत का रेफरेंस दिया, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन डिसइन्फॉर्मेशन उसके फेक के ऊपर मैंने युधिष्ठिर जी को कोट करा, जानबूझ के कोट किया कि ऐसा नहीं है कि हमारे द्वापर युग में झूठ नहीं, क्योंकि सत्युग त्रेता युग में ऐसा नहीं था, द्वापर से ये शुरू हो गया था कलयुग तक आते आते। तो भाई कलयुग है, लोग झूठ भी बोलेंगे, सब कुछ करेंगे, लेकिन आपको उस झूठ से कैसे बचना है ये आपको बस, नथिंग एल्स, आई बिलीव। पर सर आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट आप गूगल कीजिएगा 7%, 38%, 55%। रूल 7%, 38%, 55%, and I follow this rule strictly. And our Prime Minister also, I tweeted him about it. I said, I must say that very clearly that you are really following this rule. बस आप देखिए उनके पार्लियामेंट में आगे वो बोलते हैं 7% होता है, पर वो तूफान खड़ा कर देता है। That's the thing. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else, sir?
We'll take one
Yeah,
more
yeah.
Any other question?
Yes, yes sir. पीआर की दो ही नीति है और जनता की आवाज नहीं उठाती, सिर्फ वो
दोबारा बोलिए,
सरकारी
सुनाई नहीं दिया
पब्लिक
क्या
सेक्टर
बोला
की
आपने।
आवाज उठाते। तो जब भी आप पत्रकार के आप तो हिस्सा तो हैं,
देख किसी और तरफ रहा हूँ।
जी जी,
It means I'm not happy in shaking hands with you.
यस सर,
लेकिन अगर मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ और आप किसी और तरफ देख रहे हैं, it means you're not concentrating on my words. Got it?
राइट सर।
तो आपको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि 55% का मतलब क्या, बॉडी लैंग्वेज का। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देखो, 3 इडियट्स फिल्म देखी थी आपने?
जी,
3 इडियट्स फिल्म में एक इंटरव्यू होता है उसका, लास्ट के अंदर जो जिसने वो बिल्डिंग से गिरा होता है, उसका नाम याद नहीं आ रहा मुझे, तीसरे इडियट का, और वो इंटरव्यू देने जाता है अपना व्हील चेयर के ऊपर। तो वो जो इंटरव्यू बोर्ड बैठा होता है उससे पूछता है कि आपको ये क्या हुआ, कैसे चोट लगी? तो वो बोले कि आपके जो पीछे बिल्डिंग है उसमें 3rd माले से मैं कूद के नीचे गिर गया था, नीचे मैंने सुसाइड करने के लिए कूद गया था, ये उसका नतीजा है। तो उसने पूछा क्यों कूदे थे आप? तो उसने सच बोला था कि मैंने डायरेक्टर के घर के बाहर यूरिनेट कर दिया था। फिर उसने कहा कि भाई अगर आप जैसा हम कहेंगे वैसा करेंगे, तो उसने ये कहा कि देखिए ये तो नहीं हो सकता, जैसा आप कहेंगे वो करेंगे, बड़ी मुश्किल से एटीट्यूड आया है, आप अपनी नौकरी रखिए, मैं अपना एटीट्यूड अपने पास रखता हूँ। सो अगर आप में इतना दम है कि आप अपने एटीट्यूड को संभाल के रख सकते हैं, तो आप एक कामयाब पीआर प्रोफेशनल हैं। वरना तो जी हजूरी नमस्ते यही काम हो जाएगा कि सर जैसा कहा वैसा कर देते हैं। सर हम तो आपकी नौकरी करते हैं सर, तनख्वाह आपसे लेते हैं। आप वो यस यस यस, एक कहानी याद आई अकबर बीरबल की इस बारे में कि बैगन बना तो अकबर बादशाह ने बहुत तारीफ की, बोले वाह क्या बढ़िया बैगन बनना है, आनंद आ गया खा के। तो बीरबल बोले कि बादशाह सलामत, ये बैगन भी तो राजा ही है, इसके सिर पे देखिए ऑटोमेटिकली मुकुट है। आप बादशाह और बैगन बादशाह, तो बादशाह ही बादशाह को खा रहा है, तो आनंद नहीं आएगा। अब कई बार बैगन बना तो बादशाह सलामत तो आ गया, गुस्सा उन्होंने उठा के प्लेट फेंकी, बोले ये क्या खराब बेकार की सब्जी बना के मेरे आगे रख देते हो। तो बीरबल भी शुरू हो गया, क्या वाहियात सब्जी है, सब ना रंग बैगुन नाम है ना कोई गुण है इसके अंदर। बोले बीरबल उस दिन तो तुम तारीफ कर रहे थे कि ये बादशाह है वो सब्जियों का, आज कह रहे हो बेगुन। बोले साहब मैं आपका नौकर हूँ, उसका बैगन का नौकर थोड़ी। तो पीआर में आप नौकर नहीं है किसी के, याद रखिए। आप पीआर करते हैं एज अ कम्युनिकेटर, it is your responsibility to communicate the truth and only truth with facts, supported with facts.
Thank you,
Truth
sir.
which is not supported with facts is not truth.
Ji, thank you, sir. The session is going very well, and we would like to have this question answer session long, but we have another session also, and the
I have no
eminent
issues.
speaker.
I have no issues, man. If there are questions, I would love to answer them
Thank you,
because
sir.
I have
But
this.
we have
I have
another session
spared my
also.
time for these students only, nothing else.
Thank you, sir. But we have another session too, and eminent speakers for the second session have joined us, and they are waiting for it. And before
Thank you.
starting our next session, I would like to invite Dr. Surinder sir for a formal vote of thanks. Surinder sir, please.
थैंक यू भारती मैम, सतीश सर, राजेंद्र चौधरी जी, सुनीत मुखर्जी जी, सुरेश गौड़ जी, उर्वशी रंगा मैम, अमित सांगवान सर, आप सभी ने आज जो पीआर डे है इसको पूर्ण रूप से जीवित कर दिया। आप लोगों ने हमारे विद्यार्थियों को इतना, सर आप सभी ने इतना विस्तार पूर्वक जानकारी दी कि जो हमें विद्यार्थियों को सिखाने में शायद 1 महीना क्लासरूम में लग जाता, और ये आज ये विद्यार्थी 3-4 घंटे में आप लोगों का विभिन्न प्रकार का, विभिन्न एरिया का अनुभव है वो हमारे विद्यार्थी सीखे। आपने महाभारत से लेके आज के प्रैक्टिकल से तक और पॉलिटिकल पीआर से लेके डिफरेंट प्रकार के जो पीआर है इसके बारे में विस्तार पूर्वक जानकारी दी। सरकारी पीआर है, प्राइवेट क्षेत्र में पीआर है, पीआर में किस प्रकार की चुनौतियां हैं, उसमें किस प्रकार की स्किल होनी चाहिए, इसके बारे में विस्तार पूर्वक जानकारी दी। और मुझे लगता है कि हमारे विद्यार्थियों को इससे सबसे ज़्यादा लाभ होगा, और वो इन चीज़ों के बारे में जहाँ पे भी उनके कुछ कमियां हैं उनको दूर करने की कोशिश करेंगे और बहुत एक बेहतर जनसंपर्क कर्मी बनने की कोशिश करेंगे। इसके साथ साथ में माननीय कुलपति जी का भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। उनके पास हम जब भी किसी प्रोग्राम के बारे में जाते हैं डिस्कस के लिए तो वो तुरंत कहते हैं कि गो अहेड, मैं आपके साथ हूँ, आप कीजिए। और विभागाध्यक्ष का तो आशीर्वाद हमारे साथ में बना ही रहता है। मैंने इस प्रोग्राम के सिलसिले में कई बार सतीश जी से तो मेरे इस प्रोग्राम के बारे में बिल्कुल कल ही बात हुआ, और मैंने कहा कि सर आपको प्रोग्राम के से जुड़ना पड़ेगा। आज कर्मयोगी है, वह भी प्रोग्राम है माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का, लेकिन इतना सब कुछ होते हुए सतीश जी ने हमारा निमंत्रण स्वीकार किया और मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में प्रोग्राम के लिए जुड़े। तो सर आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। राजेंद्र चौधरी जी से मेरी 5-7 दिनों से कंटिन्यू बातचीत हो रही थी, और मैंने कहा कि सर ऐसे ऐसे प्रोग्राम हैं, अगर आपका इतना वास्ट एक्सपीरियंस है जागो ग्राहक जागो से लेकर डिफरेंट एरिया में, सतीश जी का भी बात करूं, वो पूर्व राष्ट्रपति के भी हैं, मीडिया कर्मी रहे हैं, विभिन्न क्षेत्र में अनुभव रहा है। सुरेश गौड़ जी आपका है, मैं सोशल मीडिया पे जुड़ा रहता हूँ व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में, तो आप समय समय पे जनसंपर्क से संबंधित हर चीज़ें शेयर करते रहते हैं। आपने बॉडी लैंग्वेज के बारे में और जो डिफरेंट फैक्टर है उनके बारे में विस्तार पूर्वक जानकारी दी। आपका भी सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Satish ji. Thank you so much, Suresh Gaur ji. Thank you so much, Sunit Mukherjee ji. Thank you so much. And we are very happy that today you interacted with our student, and it was very fruitful and very productive session for our student. And again, congratulations to all on National PR Day. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू।
So we are starting our another session, and Dr. Neeraj, please come this side.